Welcome everybody back to Valance League. My name is Trajan. I'm joined for the first time today by Sylvcast. Now, this is Division 4 Val's League, and from what I understand, you're used to casting games of at least a Diamond 1 Elo and up. So, do you have any expectations coming into this one?
I want to see spicy picks and I want to see a little bit of fiesta, but I hope still that the teams are going to show good gameplay as far as their level is concerned. And yeah, I'm happy to be here and hope for a nice cast with you.
Yeah, I must say, when I started casting Val's League last year, I came in, I've only cast Division 4 games, okay? So I've only had a certain kind of level in front of me here, but I must say, I was pleasantly surprised by some of the plays and the genuine macro decisions that were being made, mostly by one of the teams in front of us today, which is Venom 5. They're going up against 0-2 Academy. Both of these teams are 1-0 to start the season off, so you might have some of the more high-quality Div 4 games in front of you today, Soulcast.
Yeah, I hope at least that it's going to be like that. I have the PGGs ready, I have my own notes made,
Oh
and I
boy.
really hope that teams are going to pick their champions and not go too far for the meta. Because if I can compare this to the Korea's Challenger League, for example, I can
It's very
tell.
comparable. They're pretty much the same level.
Yeah, true. But I can see that on that high level, the draft is pretty telegraphed. You're gonna ban
Yeah.
Pantheon, you're gonna ban Olaf. You then first pick Kaiser. It gets countered by Xayah, and
Yeah.
so on. So I hope that we don't have that here, and that we can see some spice in there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The meta has become fairly concretely placed at this point, but if there's one thing Val's League will give you, it is a bit of spice at every turn. I think that at this level especially, really comfort just goes so much farther than like blind meta adherence, and it's about just getting your players in a comfortable position where they can actually try and pop up and get themselves advantages. Because although I do say that, Val's League, they have better macro than I expected, sometimes it is a little bit lacking, and having the lead early on can really give you that boost to get that win zone up.
Yeah, and we're gonna hop into the draft right now, as far as I can see it.
Yeah, so you talked about the bands you were expecting to see here, and you also mentioned that you had some notes. So are you expecting any particular picks or bands to come up for these teams in particular?
I'm gonna expect the 0-2 Academy to ban out Fiora and maybe Tryndamere from Leverage. That could be happening in the second ban rotation. On the other side, I also had the Cassio for Quaiden and the Vayne for True Sample. Now, on the side of 0-2 Academy, I can see a lot of Camille and Ornn being played by the top laner. The mid laner plays basically everything, and the ADC plays a lot of Jhin, but we see nothing else.
Yeah, they're gonna go with the classic no ban strategy. So who could tell what's going on in the thought process there? But maybe just a bit of mental game, a bit of we don't need to ban against you. We are just so good. We'll take the win regardless.
Is the Maokai being banned against not the Messiah, who I believe when I saw some PGG he mostly plays top lane, but on support he has some picks like Maokai, Swain, and Lulu and Morgana that aren't too hard to execute. So
Yeah, a lot of irritating AP options down there for not the Messiah. If you go into lane against this guy, you're gonna get poked out, you're not gonna have a fun time, and Maokai is definitely one of the more abusive versions of that archetype so far. Of course, things like the Lulu do open a bit more of a supportive option for a hyper carry ADC, whereas
The weak
Maokais and
fear
Swains
the
are
shadows.
more trying to take control of the game
Fear
themselves.
controls them.
now the Kayn is getting banned off for AL2K, who plays a lot of different junglers, but most of all it is the Kayn. And I believe that Venom 5 here will still not go for a single ban. That might
Yeah,
be a
so-
little bit of BM.
We're being told by production they have in fact lost their first 3 bans, so they
Oh.
aren't going full BM. They've had them taken away. Who could say why? But I mean, at this point, doesn't matter too much because, as we said before, when we don't expect these teams to be playing super heavy meta, it's not quite as bad. There are more options on the table. You can always have that pocket pick to get the matchup you want.
Yeah, now what I'm looking at is still the Olaf that is on the table and is disgusting at the moment. And AL2K is playing that, but they are gonna secure the Jhin for Leonia, who is a Jhin main.
Yep, for sure. Most played champion right now, 64% win rate, well over a 3-point KDA, with actually surprisingly good CS as well. And I feel like looking down at the lower the divisions you go, one of the main things I see is the average CS starts to fall off really heavily. So the fact that he's actually got decent numbers in this area makes me quite hopeful for Leonia. Got a very strong AD carry pick on this patch, but he might be a little pressured in this game as the first pick on the other side is a Malphite.
Which kind of surprises me because Larut is playing, not really playing Malphite. He's playing Fiora, Tryndamere, Yone, and Darius. So maybe we have the Malphite going into the mid lane or into the jungle here. But then pick up the Olaf. Okay, I like that.
Yes. Yeah, we do have, so far, it's actually been a relatively decent meta draft at this point, and yeah, with the Olaf coming in there, that is a bit of a pub stomper champion that can just completely, literally run over your team if they get ahead, and it'll be up to us, up to AL2K to see if he can actually execute on this one properly.
Yeah. In 11.2, Jin fell a little bit off the cliff with Kai'Sa being so good and Xayah being the better pick and Senna rising up in priority. But still, if you're a main, you want to pick the Jin, it's still very, very good, just not as good against the Kai'Sa as some other stuff. And they're gonna go with Galio and apparently Nunu.
Yeah, that is quite a beefy frontline coming through here. Obviously, Galio still builds full AP, but the natural tankiness built into that champion's kit can give them a lot of absorption, and the ultimate offers a nice combo potentially with Nunu. If you've got the absolute zero channeling on multiple, plus the Galio ult comes in, knocks them up, keeps them in the damage, that could be a powerful combo.
Yeah, I also think the Galio might be a flex pick here. It could be subbed into support mid lane. And now they're gonna pick the Fiora, which means that Malphite is definitely not going top lane.
Yes, so potentially, so at this point I'm expecting to see the Malphite mid lane, the AP Malphite, where you just kind of scale up, get the ultimate, and then you can make all the opportunities your jungler needs purely off that ultimate.
Yeah, it could be the Malphite mid lane. I also think that maybe it's gonna be support because not the Messiah has put in a lot of Malphite work, although it was in the top lane, and I haven't really seen Malphite for the mid laner. So I think it might be a flex pick, but I also think in the mid lane it will make more sense here.
Yeah, we will see how the picks come through and confirm or deny us. Now we have the other team not banning at this point, so I'm just gonna throw out a missing ping and move on, I guess. But with the first ban of that second rotation, at least on the side of V5, has been the set.
I recommend skipping.
So Lulu getting banned away from Jazzar.
I like this Lulu pick. I think that Lulu and Jhin can still be quite a strong lane, though with things like the Seraphine as an option, we haven't seen anyone touch it so far, but you know, Lulu does kind of get outranged a little bit by some of these champions, some of these other enchanter options, and the last ban, so I guess the missed ban, who knows if they were actually forced to do that, but at the very least, their last ban will be the Vayne, so something that could potentially punish Jhin as the game goes later and maybe find him in a side lane not watching.
Yes, also the true Senpu's best champion, or
yes,
by far most played, I think, as well. So that's gonna be something, and that's Orianna, so it will be Malphite jungle or Malphite support.
Yes. Do you have still the kind of the death ball developing with the Malphite Orianna combo, which is kind of the most important thing coming through here? And as you say, it could be not the Messiah taking just a champion that he is comfortable on, putting it into another lane, and maybe just, you know, abuse the base damages early. You've got the ultimate for the engages at level 6. Doesn't sound bad at all.
Now, something I won't expect as we see the Gnar getting picked up against the Fiora is, I don't expect it, but I want to have the possibility option as an Orianna main. You can play Orianna support with Moonstone. That is possible right now.
Oh boy.
There's a Nico. My two main champions both being picked. Let's go.
Nice. They're trying to bribe you with points for favorable casting at this point. They're just trying to get sold out on stream.
What I do expect is the Galio going to support and the Nico into the mid lane.
Not the Nico support?
No, because when I stalked the OPGG, Nico is a flex pick for the team because both AD carry and mid laner are playing it. So we have the AD carry locked in. I don't think it's going to be support. It's the Ashe getting picked up. And now I'm curious, will it be the Orianna support or will it be the Malphite support here? It's gonna be the Malphite, right?
Okay, there we go. That is a nasty CC engage combo. Ashe and Malphite ultimate. Pretty tough to get away from that.
Yes, and you're gonna throw the ball in there. You have the Olaf running in. The only thing that doesn't really fit that type of team fight composition is the Fiora, but it's Larry's best champion, so why not
Yeah.
just pick it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fiora is one of these champions, kind of like Olaf, that can just run away with the game, but they definitely have a bit of a better scaling option. And I mean, is Fiora one of these champions that's also just taking Gordrinker because it's so good, or a different fighter option still the call for her?
I'm not really sure what you want to do in this game. I've seen Fiora going Gordrinker, I've seen Fiora going Triforce. It's all possible basically. I also saw some Fioras going Shield Bow, which
Really?
is a little bit weird, but it just
Is there
gives you a
anyone?
lot of healing, apparently.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
expect the Gordrinker actually here because
Sure.
you get a lot of value against it on a Nico, on a Galio, on a Nunu, on a Nar.
Yeah. How do you feel about Stridebreaker right now? I feel like I've seen Stridebreaker come into like finally people are picking it, whereas on the first few patches of preseason, literally no one was picking it anywhere for any reason. But now like things like Garen and Darius and maybe Fiora as well, that was kind of the champion that was supposed to display Stridebreaker's power. They had like Fiora in the video introducing Stridebreaker. Do you think that like it's worth it now? Does it actually stand up to the other fighter mythics?
I think it might be worth in general, but I don't like it on Fiora. I think it's really
Sure.
good on all champions that don't have an easy time to get onto someone and chase someone
Mhm.
down. And Fiora is not that. She has
So
a
it's just kind of
3 second
overkill, I
Q
guess.
cooldown. Yeah. On
Yeah.
Darius it's really good, on Garen it's really good. You could
Mhm.
build it on Nar as well, so
Sure.
and
Byaku, yeah.
yeah, that's possible, but I don't expect it here. I fully expect the Gore Drinker and everything else would disappoint me. Because as if it stands here, you have a lot of engage on the side of Venom 5, and Nico is really good into a lot of engage because you get a lot of value from your E, from your ultimate, and that might work out well. And Nico also has a surprisingly good lane.
Yeah, there's a pretty scary setup for Criden to look forward here. With the Nico, like, you know, you're punished for hiding in your minions by the stun, get increased in
Yeah.
duration, plus you've got the Nunu snowball coming in, and that is a really nasty combination, as you say. And Criden, he's probably gonna have, you know, Flash, maybe he has cleanse, maybe if he's very scared, but most likely just like a TP or something similar. So you kind of got one get out of jail free card, and then you are very vulnerable to that combo.
That's for sure. We also talked a lot about the team fighting of Venom 5, but the team fighting of Zero to Academy isn't that bad either. You have the
Yeah, for sure.
Nar, you have the Absolute Zero, you have the Pop Blossom, and you have the Galio coming in. That's a lot of IOE as well. So both teams kind of want to fight. And I hope
Yeah.
we're going to get fight after fight.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be watching the AD carries positioning very closely this game because they are both immobile by nature. Jhin, of course, does have some speed boosts, but I mean, both of them probably going to need to go into the Gale Force here just to keep themselves alive and give themselves a chance to play this one out, you know? Jhin and Ashe can stand quite far back, I guess, if they want to. Jhin, of course, has the ultimate to make that very easy, and with so much potential engage to be watching out for, it might just be better to go, okay, I'm going to stand over here and ult, and you guys can fight out 4v4, okay? Just don't get me involved.
Yeah, I believe the Jhin should never be in range of
Yeah.
an engage, except that it's Malphite. He can ult you from 2 screens away if he knows
Yeah.
slash ultimate. What we also have to watch out how Criden is positioning his wall, because it's really easy. If you say the death ball combos there, it's really easy to get the snapback if you don't watch out. Like Malphite ults in, Orianna ults, and she ults herself because of ult snapbacked. I am
That's
ashamed to admit that happened to me more than once.
Yeah, that's literally the biggest flaw in my own Orianna play is how many times I misjudge the range or like mistime the
Yeah.
ultimate and end up sombreroing myself to much humiliation. Unfortunately, let's hope that Kridan can execute a little better than I can going into this game. I want to look at the bot lane matchup specifically a little bit more because we've talked about how impactful, you know, both supports can be, about how important the positioning is for the AD carries, but when it comes down to the actual 2v2 lane matchup, who do you think's going to get the advantage so far?
Most likely the Jhin and the Galio here. We see the Malphite has the poke, but if you get onto the Ashe and onto the Malphite, who isn't that far range, the Malphite does not have an aftershock or anything.
Yeah.
I believe nobody can see that on the draft, but he has the Comet, and he has no exhaust either, so if the Galio gets onto the Malphite, he will just melt because he's pretty squishy in the early game.
Yeah, I assume we're expecting like an AP support build, just maybe like the poke support item into as much AP as you can quickly get, just to get the damage.
Yeah, I Yeah, I think so. Maybe he's probably gonna go for the share item right in lane.
Yeah, as now we are just about onto the rift here, though we are just going to do some production wizardry to get ourselves in line with our producer, and then we will start this game off as soon as possible. I am now waiting at 10 seconds, and we will get production in our ear confirming when we will get this one kicked off.
Yes. And from the items.
And there we have it, just like that. Nice and easy, a quick start for today's games here. Venom 5 taking on 02 Academy here in Division 4 in 2021. I'm excited to be back. I know that you're excited to be here as well, Sylvcast, and I cannot wait to see if this game lives up to the high reputation that I now have for Val's League.
Yeah, I am surprised, or not surprised yet, but I will gonna be surprised what people will build here on the Malphite. I'm also curious what Nikki will build on the Nico, because there's one particular player in EU West, which is Patata Kamikaze, who's a Grandmaster Nico one-trick,
Wow.
who's got building Proto Belt every game, and he's the only player in high elo that does it, and not many people are doing it. I do it myself, and I like it way more than the Ludens build, so I'm gonna see what Nicky's building here, and the Malphite as well, as the Ash too. I have not seen a lot of Ashes in the last few weeks, so
Yeah, it does seem to be a very fringe pick at this point, and just kind of one of the AD carries that has been slightly allowed back into the meta by Jhin, like getting that, you know, push down and win rate just a tad. Everyone knows to just ban Kai'Sa now, so some more options can come in, like the Ashe.
I mean, Kai'Sa's looked through that draft and wasn't picked up as at all, so maybe both players don't play it here. And now we're gonna see that both junglers are starting onto the bot side of the map, and they're gonna jungle towards the top side, which means there might be a gank towards mid, or top lane coming, or a jungle skirmish for the crowd.
Yeah, the options are just endless here in Val's League, as the lanes are crashing right now. Both junglers not going to meet too fast, but there is a lot of red vision on that side already. V5 playing a decent early game, don't want to get caught out early by those snowball plays, which can be so impactful at early levels.
Yes. I think so far this is more or less dead vision, because it didn't spot at anything. The one in the mid lane already timed out, the one in the bot lane will time out soon, and we see Vicky.
Aggression in the mid lane, popping the Ignite, and it's going to push Cridden back, going to force that TP, but at least the Orianna doesn't give up the first blood too easily.
Yeah, early level 2, Nico has a really strong lane, as I mentioned before, and she can definitely bully out an Orianna.
Yep, and now it's going to get that wave crashed in. Both junglers going towards this top side. There's no wards placed for either top laner yet, so we could see a gank and possible counter gank up there in about 30 seconds to a minute's time. As now bot lane, they are both crashing as well. But at least for Nikki, despite being TP down, has managed to get that nice CS lead, as you mentioned. He's going to crash this wave, and maybe Snowballs try and get some early items to push that lead.
Yeah, Cridden actually saved his TP there, which I'm not sure if that is the right call. Because he loses, I think he lost about a wave from it, and is now really far behind in the experience range.
We saw some trading from Larute there, popping that riposte, trying to get control of Ikuya on this Gnar, but going to be pushed back. We see the junglers meeting in that topside river on the map there, fighting over the scuttle, and LA2K is definitely going to come out the victor here if it comes down to it. He's got the health advantage, he's playing literally Olaf. I think that Nunu's probably just going to have to give this scuttle up for gone.
Yeah, he's gonna give it up. Olaf is too strong, and now the Olaf could look for the Gnar, who's pushing the wave in, so that might be a possibility.
Yeah, still going for the aggressive trades, and now in comes Ali2K with that double buff riposte. It's not going to land though, and the hop will get Akuya nicely to safety.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Nikki is still going strong, still bullying out Cridden here.
Now Ali may be looking towards this, come down the road towards mid lane as well, but Nunu's waiting in tow. Nikki a little low on mana, so if it comes down to it, not too much to trade with. Seems like they're going to just go back to their jungles. No kill secured by them so far, they are looking.
Yeah. Another gang from Olaf, or attempt, but it's a lot of safety in the early lane against no CC on the side of on the side of 02 Academy, of course, on the blue side. They can just hop away on the Gnar. Olaf has no CC, Fiora has no CC, Orianna that earlier has no CC. So you can just run away even with the Nico.
Yeah, Nico is still controlling and winning out these trades. Hasn't even been back to base yet. Still has a potion and is still, chunking Cridden down to below half once again. If they're not careful, they're gonna have to get forced back to TP once again.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Nico's quite strong against mages, but it shouldn't be that heavy right now because he's 13 CS up. They already forced Cridden out of the lane once, and Orianna is a champion that should be able to farm fairly easily in most matchups.
Yeah, we are going to see Nikki finally grab that recall and get some items on deck. The tier is picked up for Cridden and is now going to pop that TP. So do you feel like this is a decent use, or maybe was this the time to actually just walk back to lane normally?
I think the lane was more or less frozen, as far as I can see. So he shouldn't look to TP in there because Nikki will lose like 2 or 3 CS from that, and before it was definitely a better use because Quine was like almost 1.5 wave. If we look at the experience, Nikki is almost level 6 and Quiden just hit level 5, so that's a big lead here for Nikki.
Yeah, with the aggression Nikki has shown, I would not be surprised to see some flash ultimate plays in that mid lane before too long. We did see Jazza tending up towards that river as well to maybe see if they can get a catch, but so far not able to find anything. Gonna go back to this bot lane, and bot lane has been pretty quiet so far, but once the ults come online, I'm sure that'll change.
Yeah, it's still a 6 to 7 CS lead here for Leonia, so that's gonna work out in his favor so far. And it's
here comes the ultimate. Straight from Nikki. Forces the flash from Cridden. Actually saves his own flash and ignite. That's a big cooldown grab.
Yeah, and in like 70 seconds you can just do the same again. Walk onto Cridden, look for the roots, and if he lands one, just go for the ultimate and kill him.
Yeah, gonna be very dicey for Cridden going forward, and that's not even to speak of Vanlu9696, who we've not seen grab any snowball plays just now, but now that they have the knowledge that the flash is down in mid, we could see them angle to get something there, but for now, they're gonna just start up this first dragon.
Yeah, Olaf is on the top side, they see him, and they're gonna get the dragon here for free. Nunu can easily take it. Meanwhile, Olaf is looking for gank top side, but Ikuya should be aware of this, because he saw the Olaf just before running towards mid top lane.
Yeah, it's gonna not step too far forward in that lane. Obviously, Nara does have a bit more freedom. The flash is available. Hop can get them out of trouble. So Olaf is gonna call this one off. But the wave's not in a great position. So you can see Akuya a bit wary to walk up, but doesn't probably enjoy losing that CS.
Yeah. But still, heads up play for the team. It's good for him, even though the Fiora gets the advantages here for Venom 5. It's like the shining light right now because the mid lane is completely getting craft. Their bot lane is slightly behind, and they didn't even try to engage Nikki. Another good E.
My word, that damage coming through from the electric from Nikki, and now Jazz are going aggressive as well. A 4th shot will drop not the Messiah very low. Ash going to be okay, but he's actually not recalling as well. This feels like very dangerous game as the Jhin ultimate's just come through. The curtain call grabs up that first blood, and Leonia and Jazza take that first kill of the game.
And as I said, before level 6, the 2v2 is in favor of...
Oh no, they went in and lost Jazza. No, he can't win it. The W's not going to do it. And the Ash Arrow stun Leonia. He does have the reload though. True Senpu is just going to stand there and die to the Q. A slightly questionable decision there, but does at least pick up the kill on the Galio.
Yeah, the dive a little bit too much here on the side of 0-2 Academy, but in the end, Leonia gets 2 kills, gets the wave shoved into True Senpu, and that's a big lead for 0-2 Academy so far.
Yeah, and Jhin, I just noticed, had the cull already. So this is going for, a weaker, earlier lane performance with a Doran shield into cull's start. But they're still the ones picking up the kills. And I guess that still shows that while Jin's win rate has gone down a bit, it's definitely not a champion to be messed with.
Yeah, especially if you can play him, he's obviously very, very strong. And in the mid lane, it's a 30 CS lead here for Nikki now.
Oh,
that's another big, big lead. And the Orianna still opted into the AP. Instead of going for like boots and some magic resist, she's going for the blasting wand.
Yeah, let's see if Nikki can find the punish before too long, as the flashes still got a couple of minutes left on that cooldown, and Nikki with the flash ignite available, we saw the damage that comes off just getting the electrocute proc off the standard rotation of abilities from Nico. So if I'm Cridden, I am sweating a little bit right now.
So the wave is getting pushed in, not the Messiah hitting level 6 on the Malphite, and that's a big turning point here for the bot lane. Because now Malphite can look for the 2v2 or for the roams.
Absolutely. Larut actually getting aggressive onto Akuya. Dives forward with the riposte for the slow. Can they get another vital proc? They're going to force the hop away. A lot of damage traded back and forth though. Akuya kind of close to that Mega Gnar.
Yeah, I believe not much should happen here unless Larut lands a really good riposte. If Ikuya decides to go with the Mega Gnar, he should not. He's gonna transform and nothing happening.
Yeah, it was a close one. Not dash forward. I was worried that he might just get instantly Mega Gnar into the tower, but luckily Larut does slip away. And we have the Sheen and the Phage available on Akuya now, so a decent amount of damage being traded back if you can get on top of them. Has just gone back to mini mode now, so this could be Larut's chance to actually get a kill up there.
Yeah, he could try for it. Venom is now invading into LTK.
Oh, he does get that cramp. He's dropping the ultimate. Here's the Galio combo, forces the flash away with the Ragnarok from Olaf, but actually Vanlu's still going to fall, and now Jazza is in the wrong side of town, flashes away, but Malphite's there to meet him. Orianna ult comes through and is going to land onto Nico after they get that kill. The AD carries are just trading down the bot side, but Ashe definitely wins the DPS race. Nikki now in too much trouble in the jungle, uses the pop blossom, but a lot of damage, bursts back onto the Messiah and gets a counter kill, slips away from Cridden. So much action suddenly in that bot side jungle. It goes pretty even, to be honest, people falling on both sides.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-for-1, I believe it was, or a 2-for-2.
2-for-2, I think.
Yeah,
Because the
Vanlu,
first fight,
yeah,
was the kill.
But still, another kill for the Nico. Another kill for the Jhin, I believe it was.
Jhin already got the double from bot
You
side.
actually
Yeah, just
double kill for Nico.
yeah.
Oh, that's painful for Cridden here, who only got the assist. And really good Nico play here, again from Nikki, who shows that he plays the champion a lot, even though he's going for the Ludens, as it seems, instead of going for Protobelt or anything wild. So
A pure burst here, and I mean with the amount of damage they're already doing, that is going to be pretty scary pretty quickly with those kills accelerating towards that mythic. So far we do see some usual items coming through. Olaf likely going towards that mythic with the Iron Spike Whip. I imagine top lane will be going towards the Divine Sundra for the Gnar, and who knows what Fiora's going so far because it's just the Caulfields.
yeah, I also expect the Divine Sunroar, and I gotta say, I'm not sure what Vendel was doing. The whole time he was avoiding the Olaf, and rightfully so, but then he decides to invade and fight him, and he just gets dropped and is lucky that the rest of his team is there to help him.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Olaf is probably one of the members that you have the least chance to actually lock down with this kind of Nunu Galio ult combo, because you can just press Ragnarok and just walk away. He's CC immune, he does not like. Yeah, or he'll just kill you. And that was a little dicey for them there. And I mean, if you can get it onto True Senpu or Credden, sounds good, but let's see if they can get better target selection next time, as now Vanley might be caught in the river right now. There's a lot of bodies here from both teams. Drops that absolute zero, but the Orianna also catches so many members. Nikki forces the flashes through and is getting the damage through onto Ashe, but is likely just going to get bully circled out of this river. In comes Jazza, but I think it is too little, too late. Or is it? Drops them quite low with the curtain call doing the damage. Jazza is going to fall with the 4-shot find to kill it. Will not. Too early in the game for that, and a misjudged fight for 0-2 Academy.
Yeah, 0-2 Academy was a little bit split there for Larut.
Yeah, dropped the ultimate, getting 3 vitals down, flashes forward, forces it out of Kuya, but one more dash will get it done, and there it is. The solo kill finally comes through on the top side, as Ocean Dragon is picked up for Venom 5.
Yeah, that's Venom 5 fighting back, and in that fight, in the bot lane, in the river, 0-2 Academy were split. It was a 2 versus 4, and then another 2 versus 4 with first Nunu and Nico dropping, and then Nunu barely getting out, and then on the other side we had Leonia and Jazza going in a 2v4, and Jazza pays the price for it. Dies as well, that's the dragon. Meanwhile, in the top lane, beautiful solo kill by Larut from Ikuya, overstepping just a little bit.
For sure. You're exactly right when you said before that Vanlu was doing such a good job avoiding the Olaf, avoiding the bad matchup for the early stages, but all of a sudden, walks into the jungle and tries to contest the camp and dies, and then oversteps in the river and gets pinched out and dies. Maybe got a little bit overconfident by how well the game was going outside of the jungle position, and has been smacked down with ruthless efficiency by Venom 5, who now have the lead not quite in their favor. They've got the gold almost back to close, but they're important characters like the Ashe, like the Orianna. They're getting money out of this, as Nikki has found Olaf in the jungle, one of the strong points still for 0-2, and actually just solo kills him.
Another really good kill. They know that Olaf has no ultimate yet. It just came off cooldown, and Nikki has too much damage right now. Nico is so strong on this point in the mid to early game. She can one-shot basically everyone, and she does.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to see this get comboed properly in those team fights. We saw in the river trying to do work and forcing the flashes out the important members, but wasn't able to get the kills at that point. Akuya now is gonna pop the Mega Gnar and stun Fiora into the wall, gets that combo through, and Larute maybe biting off more than can chew, but here comes the ultimate, but it's far too late, and Akuya gets the revenge in topside.
Yeah, Larut way too early with the riposte. Doesn't stun the Gnar when he ults himself, and then just gets CC'd into the wall. Tries to go back with the vitals, but doesn't connect there, and that's a revenge kill for Ikuya. Nice.
Absolutely, with that CS back in his favor now, getting plate gold on, well, not plate gold on top, I should say, it's already fallen, but look at the amount of damage done to topside tower. That is close to falling. None of the other towers on the Rift are really that close, so this could be another point for O2 to get that gold back in their favor. It is now above 1k again.
Yeah, and most of it is landing onto the Nico and onto the AD carry as well, with Lionia being almost 600 gold ahead of the Ashe, while the Nico is more than 1k ahead of the Orianna.
Now we see Vanlu coming in with quite a late snowball start to push Criden back, but maybe they just want to push the back to the tower and get damage here. With the Herald going to be dropped, Shockwave is used, but it can't cancel the Rift Herald. The cast is much shorter than it used to be at points last year. This is surely going to get that charge off. Mid-tower about to fall as well. Can they maybe find the kill onto Criden? Nikki steps forward, but is going to get pushed away by Ally 2k. Absolute Zero was dropped, but now the Ragnarok comes through in reverse. Pot Blossom is going to be dodged out, but of a lot of damage being traded back onto Olaf. Still, Vanlu is getting hit by this Iron Spike Whip. Here comes Not the Messiah. They're going to disengage, but mid lane tower is still gone down.
I think a wise decision here from both teams. You drop all the resistances you have when you ult as Olaf, so the Nico would most likely just killed him there, and he has to run out. And on the other side, good call here from the bot lane from 02 Academy, who most likely just called Malphite's missing, don't fight.
Oh, flash forward from Jazza, forces the counter flash out of True Senpu, but still catches him in the taunts. But now True Senpu stepping up to get this damage back, and Not the Messiah is here to get that ultimate onto Jin. True Senpu stepping up with the confidence, and they find a double kill in the bot lane.
Yeah. Too far forward on the side of Jazza once again, and Leonia also dies for it with the Malphite coming in, ulting, and the Unstoppable Force is just too strong. He doesn't even have the ability to flash or heal in this situation, which is the right call in my opinion. Double kill for Ashe, and that's a very, very strong Ashe now, 4-1.
The Kraken Slayer already on deck doing a lot of work, so they've opted not for the Gale Force here, so forgoing a bit of survivability, but the damage that we know that Ashe can do with those fast auto attacks is very deadly with the Kraken Slayer, so they're going to have to be very wary of True Senpu going forward. It looks like they maybe want to try and force onto Larute. They're not going to get that boomerang though. No slow means no kill.
Yeah, that is not the Nunu, by the way, it is the Nico on the top lane.
Oh, is it? Oh, I got baited.
The Nunu is on the bot side.
Oh no, I got taken for a fool. I guess that means the champion design is good, right? It's even fooled me, a caster, so there we go.
Cool.
Jazza is going to walk away in the river, but eats an Ashe Hour. Is going to get stunned up for quite a long time, and the slows can come through. Leonia trying to keep the support alive. Vanlu drops that Absolute Zero. Not the Messiah going to take a fair bit of damage here. The fourth shot will do it, and Nunu now fleeing from Olaf, who's come through to support. There's a TP here too. They've got to commit for something, because they ain't getting out of this one alive. Akuya is going to hop and skip over Ally's head to get that kill. The Root now throws down those vitals, but there's so many members in this bot side. Everyone's rocked up for the party. Criden is going to go down, and Larute chase into the jungle. Curtain Call landing the slows. Dark Harvest will get the damage. True Senpu getting absolutely smashed by these shots, and Nikki again leading the charge. That fight was so back and forth, but at the end of it, it's 02 Academy coming out with a win.
Yeah, looked good initially again with the pick onto Jazza, who doesn't have the best game with the 0-5 performance, but then they overfaced by a lot. There's a TP coming in from the Gnar. Larute is a little bit later. The Gnar can just kill the Olaf, who for some reason goes under the turret a little bit, and he falls. The Nico comes in from the back wall, is on the way, kills another 2 members, I believe, yes. And they manage to chase down the Ashe in the end with a really good ult from Lionia here to slow the Ashe down so he can't escape at all. And that's a 4-4-2, I believe, or 4-4-1 even.
Something like that. Yeah, this game is going very, very evenly so far. We knew both of these teams were going to be strong contenders from what we knew about the players and the fact that they'd already had that 1-0 start, but this is really surprisingly close, and I'm enjoying to see how closely they can match up here. There are definite threats on each side. Larute, I'm looking at if they can find more maybe side lane kills, they can look for solo kills there, and the Ashe damage is very, very scary. So maybe they can still fight their way back here. But I think the biggest problem that they've got to deal with is this Nico.
The Nico is right now on 2 items, 5 and 1. Second most CS in the game after the AD carry here. But I think Venom 5 should be fine if they just scale up a little bit more, because Nico does not scale the best. If you get your first few magic resist items, she isn't as strong as right now, when she's one-shotting literally everyone all the time.
Yeah.
So they have to scale up and then go for the 4-1. Go for the Fiora pressure, then try to flank and get the ultimate combos down.
Now we see Akuya getting aggressive in that jungle, pushing Ally 2K back into that red side. The Baron is live, but we are just at 20 minutes, so it would be a bit of an interesting play to try and force it so far. Maybe just looking for that vision control, and then they'll kind of decide where to go next. There's no dragon really available for right now, so they've either got to find picks, or they've got to maybe find a split push, or find a game plan of some sort to try and follow through.
Yeah, they are just selling for vision right now, even though I believe that Jazza didn't have any wards up, so he probably wants to base fairly soon to refresh that to get a little bit more vision score, because the vision scores of both supports is not that high right now. With 24 and 33, that's something we can definitely improve on at 21 minutes.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely something that's probably quite an easy point of improvement to look for a lot of players, especially here in this Division 4, when you know, trying to get just the simple things that aren't mechanically tied down, you know, just getting wards, knowing where's a good place to place this pink ward, or I've got back, I have 75 gold, just buy a pink ward, just add it into your mental routine, and the amount of value you can actually get off things like that can be so huge, especially if you're playing Malphite support, you know, playing around the vision can be huge for pick champions like this.
Yeah, on the other hand, you also, as a support, you have to know, I placed rewards, I'm now gonna back. You don't really care about your level as much as the solo lanes. Maybe the Malphite does a little bit more because he needs his ultimate on level 2 at least. But as a support, you generally are under-leveled. You see that in pro play all the time. They're gonna place rewards and back, get 3 more wards, and place them again somewhere else, if that's a better place. They clear vision constantly. They are only there for vision most of the time. And yeah, that's something that I think the mentality of a lot of lower level supports is a little bit too far towards I need to carry, because you are a vision asset and a CC asset for your team, and you carry that way. Vision is more important than level or damage, for a support at least.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do have a little bit of a lull state so far, I think the fact that a lot of kind of games at this elo, a lot of games in, to be honest, even like going up through the higher elos, do tend to kind of devolve to, okay, when's the next dragon spawning? I guess we'll just kind of farm lanes, and when dragon spawns, we'll go and fight over it, and we'll hope that we win. We'll burger flip it. But I think that like that seems to be what's happening right now. But I mean, both the teams, especially it looks like Venom 5, have such great engage options. They've got Ashe Arrow, they've got Malphite Ultimate. I would like to see them get a bit more aggressive with it, even just to force a flash out of Lyonia, you know? Your cooldowns are shorter than theirs.
Yeah, both teams are kind of going for more defensive vision right now. And I think Venom 5 could look for some more aggressive vision. But then again, they are behind in gold. They lost the last few fights, so they might just be a little bit worried about that. I think it wouldn't be the wrong idea to just send an Ashe Arrow somewhere and look if it hits. If it doesn't hit, it's fine. If it hits, you get a kill, for example. So I would like them to be more aggressive, but now it seems to be 0-2 Academy on the Death Rush side of things.
Yeah, all the Venom 5 vision is kind of concentrated around the Baron pit right now when they need to get towards this dragon, because that's the one that is spawning right now. Ashe is on the way down, does still have the arrow of course, so can still contribute a little bit while they're coalescing, but looks like he might not get a chance as Nikki has forced the flat out belt the Messiah with that Pop Blossom. Is going to get that first kill over to Van Lu. Galio also comes through to split this fight apart, and now there is still only Larute left in that river. Olaf is doing a lot of damage, and Akuya walks into that shockwave. Kritten is so far been untouched. Nikki dropped very low. This could be going very well for Venom 5, weathering the aggression, finding the kills on the backside, but Van Lu is just trying to finish off the dragon and hope no one notices. But Venom 5, I think they're about to rumble you, my friend. Pushes them off and says thanks for the leash. They grab the objective and they take the team fight win too. Oh, Leonia, no. He's been caught in the ultimate. Van Lu, please just leave. I saw on the backside that Jin at least did get the kill onto True Senpu with one of those ultimate blasts, so nothing completely lost.
He still decided to not cancel his ultimate when he saw the root going onto him. And in the end, it's a really, really good fight for Venom 5. were able to get the better of this off the root. They wasted so much to just kill not the Messiah, who failed his flash, who didn't even had ult in that fight. And, or did he? He did, right? Oh, he ulted away.
I think
And
so.
then Nikki flashed into that with ultimate and only hit the Malphite, and that's disastrous. You're so fat as Nico, you need to hit multiple targets if you want to win the fight. The root completely untouched, then manages to finish off Zinar and the Galio, and that's a win for Venom 5.
How do you feel about? Well, I'll ask you in a little bit because this is more aggression coming through right here. As Jazza is stepping forward to push Ali2K. Ali2K likes to try and walk through here, but is always pushed out by members of 02 Academy. Just cannot for the life of him get vision in this river. Not the Messiah is now up there as well. Does have the ultimate ready. Van Lu starting up that snowball, just chasing them away, as both top laners are in that bot side with TP. So this fight could explode pretty quickly.
I'm not really sure how, but the Orianna got the crap with a Q against the Lulu.
Not how that's supposed to go.
Yeah,
Just did 4 things.
true.
Since they seem to have given away the ground here, Venom 5 not going to get too excited so far. How do you feel about Jazz's Imperial Mandate for the Galio? Do you think this is a solid item still, or would you prefer to see a tank option?
I would obviously prefer the tank option here. I think the mandate is fine, but I don't see him getting much value out of it here, because he's like going in and then he's popping mandate like once a fight and he's gonna go down because he's not tanky enough to withstand a lot of stuff. And while he has been landing some good taunts, he's still very far behind right now. He is 0-6, and I think this.
Ali2K gets caught in the jungle, used the ultimate but far too late once again, and now not the Messiah trying to get a counter kill, but the backup for blue team is ready and waiting. Nikki actually found himself in a spot of bother in the mid lane as well. Pop Blossom is going to get cancelled. Actually, it's not. They're going to survive on just a sliver, and Orianna falls. That is a tilter for Cridden. But 02 Academy, they take a pair of kills. They're going to take this mid lane tower.
Yeah. Again, over-aggression from one of the supports. Its ALTK dies in the jungle, which is fine, but then not the Messiah thinks I'm the carry and tries to one-hit Lyonia, who just walks out of it, and the now ultimate comes out, and that's gonna be a kill. Meanwhile, the 1v1 in the mid lane kinda failed. He could have just positioned himself a little bit further away with the ball, and then
Nikki's
still hit.
walked into... Nikki, well, okay, wins that one out, I guess. Walks into that top side, and True Senpu, the one thing we seem to have learned about True Senpu is he will always opt into the fight is what if offered for him. This time Nikki just obviously gets that burst, is literally 7-2-1 and takes that kill, but I think maybe True Senpu could do with a bit more caution at times.
If he had a little bit of lifesteal, or a little bit more of lifesteal, I think he just bought the Vamp Scepter, right? Then maybe he can fight that, but it's still a Nico who's really fat, who didn't have ultimate to be fair, but neither had True Senpu. With ultimate he might also be able to win this, but Nikki just needs a Q, AE, and another Q to win that fight and kill her.
So this game is just continually flowing back and forward every single time. Both teams taking turns in making big plays, but now that we have hit this mid to late stage, that last play resulted in a broken mid inhibitor for Venom 5, and the pressure has just started to mount for them. A dragon is going to be coming up before too long, but they're going to have to keep an eye on this mid wave if they don't want to start losing the Nexus towers.
Yeah, they already lost the inhibitor from the one fight, and I believe that right now 02 Academy is doing a good job always pushing out the mid lane. They could try to get the pressure in the mid to maybe get something done in the bot side or in the top side, or get the dragon. And just doing ulti.
Yeah, Curtain Callers using forces the unstoppable force out of Not the Messiah, so once again it looks like they won't have that crucial cooldown. Ashe looks like they wanted to try and recall to maybe finish what looks like a Bloodthirster, but now Olaf is getting aggressed on again. Does have the Ragnarok, but it is going to still get taunted up. In comes Pot Blossom to cut off that escape, and there goes the killing spree for Nikki. Jungler down with Dragon on the table. Surely this is going to be a freebie for 02.
Yeah, it should be free at least. There's no ultimate on Cridden either. There's only the Ashe ultimate, there's no Malphite ultimate, you can't contest that, and Messiah doesn't die for it.
Yeah, it was very, very low. Flash forward from Nikki, will get that kill, goes into stasis to wait out the Fiora ultimate now. There goes the dragon, picked up by Van Lu. Flash forward from Jazza will force the flash out of Cridden, doesn't get that taunt, takes a lot of damage, and True Senpu, for once in his life, decides not to take the fight.
Yeah, That would be suicide here with Leonia on the 4th shot, with Nikki with the burst they have. You might kill the Galio here, but giving up your own life in return is not really what you want. So I thought that maybe 0-2 Academy is a little bit early on the dragon, because they basically went 5 men around the dragon for 60 seconds before the dragon spawned. And I believe with the mid pressure they had, they could have sent Ikuya into the top side and maybe get killed there.
Oh, he's gone to the bot side and eaten an Ash Hour for his troubles. He's trying to flash forward to get that Mega Nard. Gets the stuns onto Trusempu. Can he trade his life with the Q? No, it's a shutdown for Ash. And now Nikki on this top side. Aggressive goes to Cridden and pops them with the Pop Blossom once again. This game, dude, I have no idea who's going to win anything at any point.
I mean, yeah, good pick here on Ikuya with 3 men. I don't believe he should have left. He could have held onto it. He wanted to get the follow.
Oh, not the Messiah, straight in against the shutdown onto Nikki. The punishment. We haven't seen too much of the Malphite so far, but that's probably pretty impactful. Shutdown goal taken away.
Yeah, it's a shutdown on the Malphite, which I don't think is ideal, but you're gonna take it. It's a shutdown and you want that. And in the meantime, Venom 5 slowly scaling up, which I wanted them to. We have the Oriana first 2 items complete, fairly standard items. I don't prefer them, I prefer more aggressive items, but it's really good against the Nunu and the Nar here, with the Liandries and the Seraphs. And the game is completely even, it's the inhibitor ahead, and now the Baron getting started.
Yeah, it looks like 0-2 Academy trying to exploit the reset timers for Venom 5, and they are maybe tending over towards this jungle, but they're not moving very quickly. Jazza just eat into the wall. I'm not sure if he's trying to get over it or something, but just kind of face plants into the rock there. Now here comes the red team gonna arrive. They've got a blast cone to get in as well. Ragnarok and Flash available for Ali2K. He good code for the steal here, but Nunu has the consume, and it's taken by Vanlu. But here comes the fight on the backside. Red team trying to get in through the river. Trusempu stepping up for the fight. We know this guy loves to fight. Laruk trying to finish it off. Gets that riposte. Gets the kill onto Akuya. 2 kills now picked up. Make that 3 for Venom 5. The Baron might be taken by 0-2, but the kills are going to Venom 5. Leonia caught in the pincer. That's going to be 4 dead.
You had one job, and that is run away after your Nunu takes the dragon. They had so much time to run away there. They could have, I believe, it was enough to just give up Nunu and maybe 1 more member. Instead of 3, you could have lost only 2. And you could have stabilized and deathed it. Here,
Pop Blossom catches 2, gets 1 kill, knocks up Ali2K, burning with the Ignite. Are they going to die? Sniped out by Jin on the deadly flourish. Nico will lose their life on the backside, but Leona does have the Baron wave. Ended up not dying in that top lane, and they're going to hold on to their own inhibitor. Maybe they even look for more. Jazza goes in, gets stunned by the riposte, and now the Fiora is back up. Jazza getting absolutely melted by Larute, dives forward and goes legendary. Vanlu now trying to get something done with the curtain call, dodging out the shots left and right. Gets hit by 1, pops a vital, dashes forward with the riposte, a double kill for the Root. On top of Leona, gets a triple. Fiora is going absolutely nuts right now. Akuya will get the shutdown, and here comes the stun. Not the Messiah, surely gonna fall as well. What a titanic clash in this top lane. These top laners are making everything count.
Yeah, Larute going crazy right there, and it looks scary right now for 0-2 Academy when you look at the Fiora item. Yes, the Olaf is behind, the Oriana is behind, but you have a fairly fat Ashe and you have an absolutely monstrous Fiora who can just 1v4 and take 3 people down.
That was crazy, dude. 3.5 items done for Larute now. Actually, over 200 CS as well. So much survivability, so much ability haste. This Larute Fiora is looking really, really scary. But I have to say, Akuya isn't looking too bad either. We've seen these guys go toe-to-toe so many times this game with the kills going back and forth.
Yeah, Akuya also really, really strong. 6, 4, and 3, has the Divine Thunderer, has the Sterix, has the Thorn Mail, and doesn't really take much damage except from the Oriana, who's, as we said, is behind only on 2 items right now. So he's really strong in the team fight as well. And Nikki, 1v4, has no mercy, goes in, gets 1 kill. Leonia managed to snipe a second one before Nikki goes down, and on the Nico is trying to carry this game as well.
Yeah, 11 kills to match the 11 of Larute. With that, Rabadon's done now as well. Nikki trying to avoid that scaling disadvantage by getting as much AP as possible. Akuya is on this top side right now with TP and 0-2 Academy. They know it's 4v5. They're having a little bit of trouble getting into the pit. With this Dragon live, they could get the Infernal Soul, or Venom 5 could keep this game alive even longer. They're taking damage on their top lane tower, so they're going to start at this 4v5 right now. Curtain Call comes out. The Dragon's off Velo, but can Nunu get it done? It's taken by Jin, and the Infernal Soul is snapped up by 0-2 Academy, and an absolutely massive wombo combo wipes the floor with Venom 5. All of a sudden, ace for none. The mid lane wave is there. 0-2 Academy battle back and look like they're going to take the win.
Yes, that's most likely gonna be the game. Insanely good pop blossom here. 4 people are going onto Nikki. He ults, and he's gonna got I think a 2-kill pop blossom that hits 3 people, and that should be the game. You also got the Infernal Soul if it isn't the game, but they are looking to end it, and they gotta win game 1.
Absolutely, Division 4, you do not disappoint. 0-2 Academy fight back after such a back and forth clash in just game 1 of this best of 3 versus Venom 5. They are going to take that first win. The series continues, but man, I am so excited for even just game 2 and the rest of this division so far watching that game.
Yes. Really, really good game here. And we saw the Fiora trying his best to carry Venom 5 to win, but in the end, 0-2 Academy too strong. Nikki on that Nico, 14-4, dealing so much damage in every single fight. Topping the damage charts together with Lionia.
Yeah, that was the absolutely standout performance from Nikki. If you look at the other side, as you say, Larute was doing pretty well, but I mean, I'm looking at, Ally 2K on the Olaf 1-7-7, Cridden 1-5. This mid-jungle duo really just kind of never got off the ground, whereas Nikki was, doing the work of 2 players in that mid-jungle duo, just doing all the damage needed by their team, and maybe we're going to have to see if Cridden can find a better matchup or a better lane or something to change right now, because Nikki was all over them.
And you might just ban the Nico out at this point.
Yeah, maybe that's as simple as that, maybe.
With a so low amount of damage on Cridden for being an Orianna, also very low amount of damage on the Nunu, if I point to that, only 5k damage. And on the other hand, everyone else is doing well so far on the side of 0-2 Academy. So maybe there's something you can change up for Vanlu. And I mean, Jazza didn't have the best game either, but he's still a Galio. He's still gonna find the team fight and the value for himself. So yeah, I hope that not the Messiah maybe picks something else except this full carry Malphite, which I don't really see working out in most scenarios.
No, it definitely struggled at points in this game, finding themselves trying to ult to safety before being able to get aggressive with it more often than not. But we'll have to see if Venom 5 can find the answer in the later games in this series. We are going to go to a short break for now, though. We'll be back very shortly with Game 2 of Venom 5 versus 0-2 Academy. Everybody stay tuned. And we are back, everybody, here for game 2 of the series. 0-2 Academy taking the first win versus Venom 5 in an absolute classic banger to kick this series off. Sylvcast, you've now cast your first game of Val's League Division 4. What are your immediate thoughts after seeing that?
I am pleasantly surprised by the Fiora and the Nico, while a few of the calls were weird, not to say, just such as flipping the last dragon against the
Yeah.
Nunu. That was a little bit odd, and teams should look to not to do that anymore. But in the end, I'm pleasantly surprised by some of the play, and not surprised and amused by some other plays.
Definitely amused by some of those ones. I've done a fair few casts this week, but that was genuinely the most exciting game I have cast all week. Probably the most exciting game I've cast of the year so far, and I fully expect this series to continue delivering as we are ready to move into Champ Select very, very shortly. So, if we look forward towards this Champ Select, we saw, Venom 5 did lose 3 bans in game 1. I'm not sure if they keep losing them, but regardless, do you think that you mentioned maybe banning the Nico going forward or anything else that you think needs to be taken away or any adaptations you're expecting to see?
If they have bans, I accept the Jin ban and the Nico ban, just because those are really, really good comfort picks for both of the players, for both Nikki and Lionia. On the other side, you might want to take away the Fiora, even though you won in the last game. You had a lot of problems. She was scaling up quite well, and yeah.
Yeah, it was for sure because you mentioned that like Nico can fall off at some points, but when you're that far ahead and like we didn't get to the point where builds are getting completed, Cridden didn't get a chance to scale up and match that. Nikki was just kind of dictating the pace of the whole game for so much of that mid and late game, and it was only Larute who could really offer the same kind of power. But we are getting straight into the pick and ban, and lo and behold, what a surprise! It is the Nico first ban.
Yeah, the Nico is gonna get taken away instantly. And right after, we get the Kane ban once again against its L2K. They don't want to have that on the enemy team.
Don't seem too scared of the Olaf, it seems, after game 1, and kind of with good reason. He really did struggle to get anything going right there. And now the Thresh ban coming through against Jazza. The Galio, as you said, was maybe one of the less impactful members of 0-2 Academy in game 1. It still did okay. It had a kind of a weird build, but I mean, maybe you just want to keep him on something you know. You know the Galio is fine. Let's not give him the Thresh.
Yeah, once again, you're gonna ban the Maokai away from not the Messiah, who had an atrocious game, I would say, on Wellfight, ending 2-8 and 9, building full AP, which
Yeah.
wasn't the best decision here. And now you take away the Jin as well. The fresh ban kind of surprises me against Jazzer, as he didn't have the best off games last one, so you just go away with it. And last but not least, once again, the Casio getting banned away from Cridden, because that's his main champion, and he didn't perform well on the Ori, so why change up bans? Why give him comfort?
Yeah, for sure. As we now look towards our first pick coming through here with Jin off the table, there are still plenty of strong ADCs available. Maybe the Kai'Sa is an option. Maybe things like the Misfortune is still looking good. I don't know if I want to see teams in Div 4 playing Senna, to be honest, but they're going to lock in the brand.
I am not sure where the brand is going. I believe it kind of sounds like a not the Messiah champ, right? Full AP, going for the brand, going for a more spicy support pick, and I haven't seen anyone else really playing it here.
Yeah, taking a
Except
quick
Jazza
scan of the
plays it.
OP.GGs.
I think
Who's playing this champion?
yeah, I noted the most played champions. I think Jazza plays a little bit of it, so maybe it's also a pick away from Jazza, which I don't really see because he plays everything. And right now they have him Karma and Ezreal, and the Karma would be a flex pick. The Ezreal will go into the bot lane for Lionia.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the Ezreal blind pick, not too bad, considering the Jin, kind of that worst lane, worst lane matchup is off the table. So they're gonna, lock in that, potentially that bot lane, or as you say, flex that Karma around if need be. That is, gives them a lot more power in this draft as we go forward. And now we'll see what maybe gets paired with this brand. If it is a bot lane, of course, mid lane is possible. And we've got more interesting off-meta picks continuing, as is the Volibear locked in so far.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, the Volibear, I see it quite often on like D1 level, where people just are used to playing Volibear because when he was released, he was such a strong pick.
We
So
spent so
people,
long playing him, we don't want to stop now.
so they don't stop it, and it's honestly not that bad right now. And there's a zero for Cridden, so that's a very safe long range mid laner to avoid getting killed once again in lane and dropping so much farm, going back, he can just stay away on the long range and farm up.
Yeah, for sure. There is only one Xerath game in the ranked history for Cridden, but it is a win. It is an 8 KDA, 10, 2, and 6 scoreline. So, I mean, maybe he does have what it takes to pilot this one out, and maybe gives him a bit of extra safety, as we say. He was constantly getting hounded by Nikki in the mid lane on this on the Nico pick before, and now he has a bit more freedom to sit further back.
And now you're gonna ban the Fiora, even though the Volibear is picked. So maybe it's gonna be a Volibear jungle in mind of the on the side of 02 Academy. I'm not really sure about that one. I'm
Not
not sure.
expecting the AP Volibear support for Not the Messiah, no?
No,
Not seeing that
I'm
one.
expecting a full AP branch here.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, I guess Venom played one Wally jungle game 10
Mhm.
days ago or something, so maybe it is a Volibear jungle, which that would be a lot of off meta. If we see Volibear is mostly in the top lane, from what I
Yeah.
have seen. Like D1, D2, they all play Mordekaiser and Volibear next to the stable meta
Yeah.
top laners in Gnar and Renekton.
Yeah, it does seem like as we've gone through this pick and ban, so the Ashe has been taken away from Tree Senpu as well, trying to just get a good matchup for this Ezreal. Ashe and Brand would be a really, really devastating amount of poke in that lane, but looking at the three champions that Zero Two Academy have, Ezreal, Karma, and Lux, there's a lot of disengage, a lot of keep away, good shielding. It's really hard to get on top of these guys.
Yeah, the looks will go to Nikki most likely here, and I hope they're gonna add one hard carry somewhere. They could look for an Olaf themselves if they want to, which would be really strong with all of the shields and the healing that he provides. The Hecarim was banned away already, so that's not an option to go for. They go for the Nunu. So now in the top lane, they need some sort of carry, in my opinion. Because
Yeah,
right now they are lacking damage.
they do at least have the counter pick, and Gnar is open. Akuya's Gnar did look decent, but it's not really like carrying with damage necessarily. It does have an okay scaling in that regard, but you're absolutely right. I would like to see them something with something that can carry the game. Maybe even just something like a Darius or something that can just get sped up by the Karma, supported, and just, dash forward and take over a team fight.
And now I'm getting completely bamboozled because that is a Xerath in the mid lane, in the bot lane with the Brand, and a Katarina in the mid lane for Cridden, plus a Yone for Lerut.
I am very interested to see Larut's Yone. With the Fiora plays that this guy was pulling off, with Yone in the pocket now, I think this has got to be something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, I was hoping for the Tryndamere.
Ah,
Oh,
that's
the
a carry.
Camille. Yeah, that's a carry. Although it's not this kind of face wall, I just run in and get shielded carry. It's a little bit more complex with Camille, but it's definitely a carry here.
Yeah, I mean, the Galio was open. They chose not to go for the Camille Galio. I guess maybe they weren't sure where they were going to pivot in that draft. And I think Lux does have a decent matchup into Xerath from what I've seen in lane. It's harder to abuse the Lux quite as hard. And they also, have the option of sitting far back. Plus, if they catch you out, the damage from Lux is still pretty scary.
Yeah, is that a Katarina bot lane? Do I see that correctly?
Uh,
Right now,
I
True Senpu
mean,
has it.
I mean, I can't. Well, they're not swapping anymore, so I feel like we've gone from Senpu playing Ashe, where he can only walk forward, to playing Katarina, which is even more forward, if anything. But, if you need a champion that's mobile enough to maybe chase down an Ezreal, Katarina's not a bad option.
The question is, are they allowed to send True Senpu into the mid lane and Cridden into the bot? That's
I think so.
yeah, so maybe that's a plan. Because Katarina is Senpu's most played champion, although his win rate is absolutely terrible on it.
Oh no.
With 30% in 17 games.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
it, Chief.
And 1.9 in KDA. I mean, he's getting the kills with 11 per game, but he also dies 10 times per game. So I'm curious how that works out.
Curious is curious is the word. Yeah, I'm very curious. Looking at Venom 5's draft right here, they had a pretty, standard looking draft in game one, apart from the Malphite support, and they came very close to winning with it. Now they seem to have just thrown it all out the window, and we've gone for epic matchups. We've gone for completely twisted picks, and I'm not convinced it'll work out, but who knows? Maybe they can pull it off.
I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's full comfort, which is a lot better than going full meta in this level that
Yeah.
we are at. I would say it's actually a lot more better until you reach like Masters. Otherwise,
Hmm.
even in D1, Pocket Pick Shaco can get permabanned. Even in Challenger, if you look at Yarn and Heimerdinger, it still
Yeah.
gets banned every single game because it's just too strong. And production just confirmed they can rule swap if they want. So I expect that here, or they are going for the full kill lane bot lane with Katarina Brandt.
Yeah, I mean it's all an option. Everything's on the table here in Division 4. So if we let's leave mid and bot lane, I guess, until we get into game and we know what's actually gonna happen there. So let's take a look instead at the top side of the map. We have Ali2K on the Volibear and Vanloop back on the Nunu once again. In game one, we saw Nunu kind of ignoring the Olaf and then getting a bit too excited and getting punished a little later on. Do you think like Ali2K is still in a position to win this matchup? Is he still going to be able to control the jungle, or is Van Loo going to have a bit more agency?
I believe he's gonna have a little bit more agency because I don't think a Volibear does as much chase down and damage as an Olaf with the axis. I mean, he has the stun and he has the movement speed, but in the end, Nunu can just easier roll out of the fight than he can against an Olaf, so he can look to get the camp, get out, and be happy with that. So he should have a little bit more room than against the absolute top tier jungle pick Olaf right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious about the Ezreal, because if they are going for that kill lane, it's really hard to get kills against Ezreal Karma. And we've seen a new Ezreal build pop off instead of the tier and stuff. You're gonna go Essence Weaver. I'm not sure if Lyonia knows that. So
Hard to say. I mean, hard to say if he's gonna go his own build, which is like AP full or something, or
yeah, who
he's just
knows?
gonna go Duskblade Ezreal again or whatever. Like, who knows what's
But
going
like,
through his head?
I mean, a lot of Ezreals right now are running Essence Weaver into Duskblade, actually. So
Oh
that,
wow, nice,
that's
nailed it.
that's almost one of the go-to. There are like two builds that I've seen, and the newer one is Essence Weaver into Duskblade, which is played by I think some Chinese challenger player got that into the meta. Basically, you go Essence Weaver because you get mana. You get 40 mana back per Q, and your Q costs 20. So you were generating mana every time you hit a Q. It's
Sure.
better than tiers in that regard. And then they're gonna go full like armor reducing, full damage as we all with Dustblade, and I think Deft goes Black Cleaver, for example. And the other build is still the tier Divine Thunderer, so both is possible, and let's see what he's going.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one to see how it goes through. Though, as you say, it is hard to get kills on them, and I mean, so that they need potentially. You were looking for them to get a hard carry to really complete out that team comp. They got the Camille, which is a carry of sorts, but as you say, not really the carry that you maybe wanted for them. How much pressure is on Leonia here to fill that hole in DPS? Is it really important for them to get going, or can they still just be kind of a supporting player and allow someone else to push through the fights?
I mean, I think they'll lack a little bit of damage, so there is a bit of pressure onto Lyonia to do some stuff at least. And
I do have to just jump in real quick with the fact that I've actually been kicked out of Spectate here by Riot Games, personally trying to sabotage me, I imagine. So we're going to have to try and get back into it. I imagine if I can join a Spectate from somebody, we'll have to work on that, but apologies in advance for potentially a slight delay here.
yeah, I could look to Discord stream to you, I guess.
Yeah, that would potentially work fine. Let's get some
Hopefully.
bootstrap solutions out the corner here. Okay, so I have Silvcast Discord stream up, so we are potentially back online right now. I just checked, I don't actually have any of the players added because these are a lot of, like, I guess just newer players that haven't done that much Valance spectating. So this Discord stream should be fine, to be honest.
Hopefully.
I think it's just going to mean that me and Silvcast are just even more in sync on the clock, so
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
it's even better.
All right, I'm.
And there it is. Now we are live once again. Technical difficulties outplayed. That is the level of production skill we're coming through here with Phalanx League. We've got new solutions on the fly, and now we are going to get stuck into this matchup. Currently 1-0 for 0-2 Academy. Can they make it a clean 2-0 win, or will Venom 5 battle back to keep this series going?
Yeah, I hope we get a third game. That would be fun, and then you most likely won't get kicked out of Spectator. I also hope the Discord stream actually works, because Discord isn't the best streaming platform out there. And
No.
from my experience, it sometimes just goes to 240p or some stuff like that, and we don't
Yeah.
want that for our play-by-play. I had to try that once. At least I have Nitro. At least I have Nitro, so
Yeah,
that's
it
the
has.
silver lining here.
Oh yeah, you've paid to win here and got your higher
Yeah.
resolution just for this reason. So
Exactly.
thank goodness, Silvercast coming in clutch once again. But yeah, so far it's working just fine. So I have
Okay.
faith, and let's see if we can keep this one alive right now. So fairly standard start here, a 5-point from 02 Academy, and Venom 5 just coalescing around this blue buff.
And it
Imagine we're
seems
gonna
to be
see-
Katarina in the bot lane.
It does. So we're gonna get that Lux, that high long-range Critton Nikki Lux Xerath matchup there in the mid side, and it's gonna be the kill lane. And will they be able to find the kills? Is gonna be the question.
Yeah. If not, that might be really bad for them if they don't find the kills. But if they do, it has the potential to just snowball the game in the favor of Venom 5 here. And we
Absolutely.
see Ezreal. Yeah, you first.
I do like the exhaust for Ezreal right here. Honestly,
Yeah.
given what you're looking at across you, I think that exhaust is not a bad choice.
The thing is, how do you later on kill? I mean, you lack damage on the side of 02 Academy, but how does Venom 5 kill them in the late game? They have Lux Shields, they have the Moonstone of Karma, most likely, hopefully. And they are just able to heal so much damage up and shield so much that it will be hard to kill them.
Do you think we're gonna see double moon stuff from Nikki and Jazza, or is that a bit too toxic
No,
for Val's?
I don't think they do it.
Nikki just came from, Flash Ignite, Rabadon's Nico mid lane. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going into the Moonstone now.
No, I doubt we're gonna see that. We see the barrier for Nikki though, so that's something. Some more protection here, some more shielding going on. Maybe I wanted to say maybe Caesar will just grudge the anti-shield item, but that's not really buildable on anyone on the side of Venom 5, except maybe for the Yone.
Yeah, I guess so. You could grab the lethality there, and perhaps they'll go for it. I mean, I remember they had to hotfix the Kraken Slayer interaction with Katarina, right? Because the AD build from Katarina was just not balanced in the way it was working. Is it actually still possible even without that sort of semi-broken interaction, or is
I
it still
think
gapy?
it got nerfed, but you still kill it, I believe.
Sure. Oh, hang on a second. Badlu getting aggressive this time onto Ali2K, not wasting time stepping up to his face. Takes that win in the river, is going to grab the scuttle for it.
That's a good scale here from Venom. As I said, he has way more agency to play around than in the game before. Frost is left on AL2K, who's still hovering around, but no chance.
Yeah, Consume Smite is a pretty strong combo. Now that Vanlu's got that one on lock, they're going to get that scuttle, get a nice little win early on, and that is going to be matched by the rest of the lanes. Every lane for 02 Academy is up in the CS early on.
Yeah, the bot lane is going a little bit badly on the side, as we see the trade from Camille against Sion, because it's 21 to 8 CS, which isn't good. I'm still disappointed that I won't see the Ascent Reaver here for Lionia. He's gonna opt for the tier mode, and I'm really disappointed. I wanted to see that in action.
Yeah, I'm as excited to see as well. I haven't even heard about that build before today, so I mean, I want to see the best testing pro players around the Val's League Division 4 bot lane squad testing out these builds for me before I pull out in ranked.
Are you playing Ezreal in ranked?
Not unless I absolutely have to.
Okay.
I do love playing Ezreal, and normally I would just try and get whatever rank I want to hit and then like mess around with Ezreal and flex Q and stuff later on.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean, when Jhin is so good and Kai'Sa is so good, like it's probably not really justifiable locking the blind Ezreal at this point.
I mean, if you want to pick something blind, you can still go for Zaya or something else, but
Yeah.
the Ezreal right now is not in the best spot he's ever been.
No,
Which
you
will
could say
probably
that.
change. It will probably change again at one point, as we know the AD carry meta.
I imagine so. Well, it better change, to be honest. I'm pretty bored of Kai'Sa every game, I gotta tell you. So hopefully it will change in the near future, and maybe Lionia is going to be the spearhead, getting that meta change. As we still see them, as you said, doing very well in this bot. So now the wave is about to get pushed back, but not the Messiah, taking a fair bit of poke there.
Yeah. I think Riot Games heard you, and it's gonna be Sivir against Ashe every game again.
Sad.
Like 15 minutes.
I love how aggressive Nikki is still being with this, running themselves completely out of mana, just running straight into the lasers. And now I've got a shield, I'm going to win this. And the side goes very low, and forward from Leonia forces the flash and the heal out of Brand, but here comes Ally2K to punish the aggression, lands that stun onto Jazz. True Senpu trying to follow up with the daggers, diving forward with the ignite, and first blood is gonna be True Senpu's, not the Messiah. Now it ends up on completely the other side, corralling Leonia forward. Gets the Dark Harvest stack, and Ally2K picks up the second kill.
A double kill for the bot lane, and a kill on the Katarina, which is exactly what Venom 5 wanted here.
Vanlu, do you have the Vanlu? No! Oh, he had the smite!
Executed on Nunu! No!
It really does. That is an absolute disaster for Vanlu, and the dragon is just snapped up by Ally2K. Thanks for the leash, my friend. Got the kills in the kill lane, gets the first dragon. Venom 5 set up for success.
There's a chat asking, did Nunu DC? No, he did not.
I'm afraid not.
Oh god, that was painful. And with that, Venom 5 get everything they want here.
Oh,
they get 2 kills, they get the dragons, they get their Katarina ahead, who's going for the AD build.
Yeah. So is it still the Kraken Slayer, even with the nerf? Is that the...
Right?
It's what, sorry?
Blade of the Wind King.
Oh, potentially, yes.
Yeah. Either that or Kraken. I'm not sure how the interaction is.
Because what would the mythic be for Katarina besides Kraken in the AD options?
I mean, you could go hybrid, or I think you could go everything. I'm not really sure about Katarina.
Not the most common pick, to be honest, at this point. Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, even though Leona has first blood and an assist, I feel like Ezreal's still got more gold than she does, and now in comes Vanlu looking to try and turn the tides. A double knockup off the snowball, not the Messiah, with those summoners going to be easily picked out by Jazza, so this bot lane not going to go down easy. Yeah,
unfortunately it goes to Jazza and not to Leonia, but you still take it, it's a kill, it's a Brand getting behind it, not the Messiah once again. Not the best of games, we saw him getting chunked a few times, and now he's gonna go down. Meanwhile, Root
gets a huge trade there with that Fleet Folk. Doesn't have the Conqueror proc, so doesn't get as much healing back, but does have the ultimate ready and could look to engage onto Akuya. But now True Senpu diving forward with Ally2K looking for support, gets away, flashes an exhausted Leonia, drops the ultimate, but doesn't land it, and the stun will come through from Ally, and the kill soon after. Vanlu looking to cover the retreat of Jazz, or maybe going for the kill, gets a knockup again with the stuns, but it's taking so much damage, and Xerath ultimates will rain down. Vanlu falls, Ally2K still leading the charge with another stun. Nikki with the laser snipes out True Senpu, but not the Messiah will get a kill of their own. A root lands, and Nikki looking to get a double. Can Ally2K find yet another kill on the back of this fight? Nikki trying to escape, walks out of the lightning bolt, has flash, has the blast combo. Ally2K gets the stun, and the lightning bolt again. It's another kill for the Volibear.
Yeah. L2K gets a triple kill, I believe, in total. There's another kill for Credit. And good ultimate from the Xerath, good ultimate from the Lux to follow up and at least get something back. But in the end, L2K on that bear is way too strong, and I'm probably butchering the English translation of bear. But
actually
okay.
Pretty good. Actually did pretty well, to be honest.
It's a bear, beer. I think it's beer, I'm German. Beer is always good.
It's always beer with the Germans, man, jeez.
No,
just popped the flash from Larute there off that TP. Larute was on full HP, but very, very worried about the Akuya just with those items in inventory.
Yeah, the Akuya doesn't have flash, we haven't touched on that yet, but that's also very common. We saw the same on Akami in Korean Challenger this morning, where they go teleport and ignite, so that's not the worst of things to do. And now, I think the 0-2 Academy did a few things wrong, because the only thing they don't want is a fat Katarina on the bot side, so they chunk out not the Messiah, and they have to be happy with that. They can't overcommit with the Karma Asphalt, because as soon as they go too far forward, there's gonna be a gank coming. There's gonna be True Senpu getting assists, getting kills, or in this case, L2K now 3-0-3, and now the Nunu has no more room really to operate if he runs into a counter gank, but there we go, getting the flash of crit.
Yeah, a nice stun out of Cridden will at least stop the kill coming through, but does have to use the flash. Actually drops the ultimate once again, lands all 3 charges, and Senpu here to follow up another kill forward. This Katarina eats the laser damage, and Lux is going to escape, but Larute now being chunked down. Throws the ultimate through Baku. He gets the shield, dashes back to the body, but Camille is looking poised to take this win. Gets inside the tactical sweep. Larute does go down. Akuya with the 1v1 kill, but now Ale2K always ready for the countering gank. This time cannot get the kill, but clearly still fishing.
Yes, that's the kill for the Camille in the 1v1. And also really interesting interaction there. It was Camille getting the Hextech ultimatum out, and then at the same time the Root ulting away, pulling the Camille out of his own Hextech.
Senpu goes forward with the more damage. Pops by Jazza, oversteps their bounds on Leonia. Can he get a kill? No, somebody please give Ezreal some gold.
Yeah, it's another kill for Jazz, and Ezreal is crying right here. So, Senpu way too aggressive there together with not the Messiah, and they're gonna get punished for that. It's gonna be platings going down, and there goes the gold for the Ezreal. Meanwhile, Nunu is starting the dragon, hopefully not getting executed this time.
Hopefully not
should be
this
fine.
time. Yeah, has the Bammies on deck with the Merc Treads as well. A bit of cloth armor. Should be able to get out of this one alive, provided they are not facing too much damage from Cridden here. Nikki is there to support with the shields, and this should be able to secure this one. They do still have Consume and Smite, so unlikely to get this one taken away. There it is. There is the Ocean Dragon coming through, and what rift are we going to be having today? It's an Infernal Rift once again, baby. The team fight power on the deck for both teams as True Senpu wants to start flexing already, forces the flash out of Jazza, but has used the ultimate. That's now on cooldown. Xerath ultimate coming through, not Messiah. Drops very low. Ali2K coming through at 100 miles an hour, gets exhausted and can't find it onto Leonia, kiting back expertly, but the laser from Nikki on the ward, not the Messiah, caught slipping in the jungle, and they'll get away with just the kill for themselves, plus the dragon.
Yeah, really good ultimate from Nikki to get the kill, good disengage here. And we talked about that in draft. 0-2 Academy has so much disengage in their team. They have the Karma, they have the Exhaust, they have the Ezreal, they have the Lux, and that is enough this time. They in the end get the kill because backport spots on the side of True Senpu, I believe, was it? Or was it not the Messiah? Anyway, it's a kill.
Yeah, it's a kill nonetheless. I'm really impressed so far with Nikki the most. I think in game 1 he was like always pushing and causing a lot of the chaos, but in game 2 it seems kind of like the voice of reason on the Rift right here. Not getting into any nonsense fights, picking up the high value kills where they need to, not throwing away their life for no reason. They're just playing out a genuinely solid game of League of Legends right now.
Yeah, they are definitely doing this. On the other side, Venom 5, they aren't playing too bad, but they really have to take notes on CSing. Because Cridden, once again, is 15 CS down. The Katarina is in the range for this melee matchup, to be fair, but still almost 50 CS down right now. That is a lot. And
yeah, Larute at least holding the line up in top side with a slight lead over Akuya. We can at least rely on Larute.
We can at least rely on Larute, indeed. And yeah, in the top lane before, I wanted to hang on the interaction before the fighting goes on. The Camille ulted at the same time as the Yone ulted back. So the Hextech ultimatum pulled the Yone back, but in the meantime the Camille also got pulled away for the split second that the Yone ulted out of their own Hextech ultimatum, which basically cancelled each other out. And now,
an interesting interaction here. Dropping the absolute zero, but gets stunned out by Xerath. Dives back forward for Ali2K, trying to turn this fight around. Xerath ultimate's come through. True Senpu burning through, drops that ultimate as well. And the red team have retreated behind the tower, but they've got low health bars. Nikki is on the backside, maybe a little too far forward. The team can't support Leonia. Will get the first kill onto not the Messiah. Blasco, and can they reach it? Gets over the wall, but not to the right side. The route, will it be enough for shutdown? And no, Ali2K lives. And Senpu flees away, dashing to those wolves. Leonia trying to chase down with the Mystic shots. Can they find more? Jazza not in range to speed them up. Ali2K trying to get that shield. Cridden is going to land that stun, but will the Arcane Shift come off cooldown? The shield is now there. He's trying to lower the cooldown with these Mystic shots. Banlu gets the knock up on the tower, and Cridden, will he get taken down? Senpu blocks them and dives forward, but the shield is there. The Conqueror's not enough. Leonia gets the kill onto True Senpu. Once again, Senpu just cannot click backwards.
Yeah, Senpu going in, dies in the end. It ends up being a 2-for-1 for 0-2 Academy in this long fight. Not the Messiah once again dies before he really gets a lot of damage done. And in the meantime, you get Nikki on the backline, who once again was the voice of reason, was in the backline, tried to get out, gets collapsed on by 3 more people and dies. But then they chase. Leonia still untouched in the fight. manages to in the end get Quinn low enough that True Senpu thinks he's under turret, he can go in. But once again, the SVLE, the Karma Shield, it's just too much right now on disengage. Katarina doesn't have the damage even after the Blade of Ruin King, as I called it, got in, and it's gonna end up being another kill for Lionia, who now got a lot of gold, is 2-4, has a bounty, and is doing well.
Yeah, happy to see Leonia finally getting some credit after what has been a pretty well-played game for them so far as well. On this top side, we see them fighting it out. Akuya takes a fair amount of damage from the root, but in comes those huge, sharp legs. The ultimate, we see the interaction once again following him, diving into that brush, and Akuya takes the win in the 1v1 for a second time.
That's a 2-0 Camille right now, and that's gonna be once again very scary for 0-2 Academy, as the Volibear once again does not find the kill.
Yeah, drop that ultimate as well, and that is a very long cooldown for Volibear at that rank 1 especially. I dropped the Chem tank as well, so not able to find the kill now. Ale 2K did go to 3-0 and 3 very quickly, but over the last few minutes has not been finding as much value as they did before.
Yeah, that's mostly off the fact that the Katarina is getting destroyed right now. She has 50 to 120 CS, and therefore you can really go bot lane, especially with your brand being 1 and 5. And in the top lane, it's just Camille can just hookshot away. Lux is super safe, so you have really hard time to even get an engaged anywhere, and he's trying again onto the bot side. We see him trying, and he doesn't try bad, but it's just not enough.
He's
lane party incoming.
For another try, doesn't have the ultimate here, isn't going to land that lightning bolt. Heal is actually used by Jazza just to make sure they escape as well, so not going to be playing with fire here. I really like to see that people like Leonia, oh hang on a second, they're going to keep fighting here as Vanley wants to get stuck in. Leonia throwing on the side, Ale2K still without that ultimate, remember doesn't have flash either, but is still very tanky. Absolute Zero is dropped, is going to not do that much damage, but not the Messiah. Takes a big chunk from Jazza, and the Ezreal ultimate will once again take him out. Larute has arrived on the backside, but there's no team to support him, and he doesn't have his ultimate up yet, trying to escape into the river, and Vano doesn't want to let him get away with this one for free, but Xerath keeps him alive. The ultimate is now up for Yoni, but Akuya dives in from left field and gets this kill locked up. Leonia going on a rampage now with Credden the next on the chopping block. I am just loving the way that 0-2 Academy are playing out these fights.
Yeah, that's gonna be the dragon. It's a 4-0 in total in favor. No, a 3-0 in total in favor of 0-2 Academy, who managed to get multiple kills. It's just, you have too much damage. Your bot lane is way too far down. You're level 7 to level 9 and level 9 to level 10. And that's a big disadvantage here on this side of Venom 5. It results in the fact that you can't really win a fight. They just disengage, they just chase you down with the SVO, with the Lux being fed. The Camille even really late on the teleport, but in the end it's enough to chase another kill down. And it's looking really, really bad for Venom 5 right now.
Yeah, this has been a really, really strong performance by the bot lane from 0-2 Academy. I love the way that when they're getting aggressed on that part, they have this safe lane, they know they're getting aggressed on, and they're getting pressured super hard by the Volibear, so they go down a couple times, but the fact that Leonia, as we mentioned before this series started, does actually have surprisingly good CSing numbers on average, keeps his gold well above where it can be, keeps himself even at least or stronger than Senpu, and now, when the fights keep going on, he's the one taking the lead, and now he's so far ahead, 60 CS, 5-2 and 4, he's almost got his mythic just done. Leona is set up to be the true carry of the team here.
Yeah, he's 1,600 gold ahead, and the sad thing is that the Katarina has the second most gold on her team.
Oof.
With that CSing, so Yona only has 5k gold, the Katarina almost has 6k, and it's only the Volibear being better on that one. And on the other side, basically everyone except the support has more gold than the jungler as well. So
yeah.
Only the Volibear is ahead in this game so far. Everyone else is far, far down.
A very tough one on the horizon for Venom 5. They have some decent scaling characters like Larute and Senpu. You know, if they get there, they can get there and maybe do a lot of damage, and with the lack of a whole lot of hard CC could prove strong for them, but it's a question of if they ever get a chance to make it past the mid game, as right now they're over 3k down here in the 20-minute mark. The Dragons are in favor of 0-2, and they're just looking like they're playing better across the map, as now they're trying to get aggressive onto Ale2K, looking for a top lane dive. Vanu drops the ultimate to little effect, and they're going to just walk away with a lot of bodies down here. They might actually lose their bot lane tower for overcommitting here.
Yeah, the Camille needs to get back if they want to swap the lanes, which seems like they do, and then they will chip away at the top lane turret because the root can't really contest us. Once again, too much disengaged on the side of 0-2 Academy with the Karma, with the Ezreal, with the Nunu as well, who can just walk out here up and is surprisingly tanky here. But good fight here, they're gonna react, and that's gonna be maybe 2 turrets going down. No, it's not.
Yeah, it looks like Kuya has arrived on that bot side, and the bot lane from Venom 5 does not feel confident challenging that one, which I must say I think I agree with. But now looking like they're trying to find something top, but they can't get the engage they need. They're gonna get disengaged once again. This tower is slowly but surely chipping away.
Yeah, I believe the mid lane turret went down earlier, right? That they are on the second one already.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So not much happened. They basically traded a little bit of turret damage for a turret, a little bit of turret damage, and it's just a bot turret, and now there's an engage.
Yeah, Alex2K gets caught in that river brush, but does use the ultimate to stay alive for a little bit. Still shut down by Nikki, and Larute will get a kill, but the auto attack follows him all the way home. And Leonia will still get the kill. Xerath ultimate has been used. He can still clear the wave, but it was another attempt made by Venom 5, but still 0-2 coming out on top.
Yeah, L2K, I'm not sure if he was caught out or tried to make a play happen there. They go and use everything on the Karma who survives so long that you just get 2 counter kills. And we said it before, we said it in draft, it's the story of the game. You just can't really engage on the team of 0-2 Academy because the Karma is there, and even if you focus her, you just lose people in reply. It's just how far ahead Leonia, Nikki, and Vanlu are right now.
The early game had to go very, very well for it to work out, and while it did go well for Volibear, it did not go so hot for anyone else really. And 0-2 Academy are in a position to kind of just walk this one in if they can keep it clean. They've got the Dragon advantage, looks like they're setting up for more as well. Akuya has been so strong on the split push. If they don't put any major feet wrong, they should be poised to get this 2-0 win.
There's still hope on the side of Venom 5, so they have a Katarina who can get resets in a fight and deal a lot of damage.
Straight in onto Nikki with the Ignite, and actually he's going to burn down this Lux. The Ignite taking the shield is through, but the Flash will do the deal, and Senpu finally a little bit of light for the Katarina.
Yeah, really good here from Senpu, and not so good from Nikki. So far we have praised a lot, but this time he was too far forward and kinda misplayed here, because you have one job, and that is not stay with a Katarina in the side lane. She will kill you, even if she's behind. It's Katarina 1v1 against Lux. So, yeah, you stay at range and you don't get caught. And now, that could be a different story here.
Yeah, trying to get the catch onto Senpu, and the Hextech Ultimatum is going to make that impossible to escape for Katarina. On the other side, they have started this Dragon. They are flipping it though, but the red team this time will secure it. Vanlu not missing that secure, putting them at Infernal Soul Point, and they're looking for more now. Akuya has TP'd down. They're engaging onto AL2K. Absolute Zero comes through, not the Messiah, dropping very low. Godlike is Leonia. Larute on the other side though gets the shot onto Akuya. Leonia has to come back and reconsolidate this team fight. They'll get Larute down. They'll chase forward towards AL2K. Ezreal is just running every team fight down by themselves.
Yeah, it's another really good team fight on the side of 0-2 Academy. It ends up with 2-for-1 plus a solo kill in the top lane for Ikuya, who... He's the one who can fight the Katarina. He's 3 levels up on her, he can just one-shot her basically. And that's another turret, it's the Dragon going down as well. Once again, blue team contesting the Dragon against the Nunu, which is really, really hard to do, and they can execute on that.
Still a little bit of a flip, and maybe we could see 0-2 Academy clean up their approaches there. When they're this strong and they've got people like Lux and Akuya, they can just look for catches, make sure that it's not kind of a slightly weighted 50-50, and, you know, kill out the jungler, maybe just make sure they've got more chance of securing that going forward. But at the end of the day, when they are still this strong, even if they lost the Dragon there, they would still win the fight. There's no Infernal Soul Point even, you know, threatened for Venom 5, so it's not the worst, but maybe just something they can look to clean up in the future.
Yeah. And now we see, once again, we have the Infernal Soul Point for 0-2 Academy, and that one is a strong soul. Especially with Ezreal.
Very strong soul, absolutely. Leonia driving forward, trying to get his own red buff, but not the Messiah will take it away with this 4-man robbery squad from Venom 5. Now them heading towards the mid lane. Larute on the bot side. They could get engaged on though if Vanlu chooses to go for it, and these fights have not been going well for them as of late.
Yeah, but as far as this goes on, they just run away and get out cleanly, get a red buff. That's really good for them. but they are still 3,000 gold behind right now and 2 dragons behind. And they only have the, I would say not the worst dragon, but as a standalone dragon, I much prefer the healing of the ocean and the 2 Infernal Souls to the attack of the Cloud Soul, although the Cloud Soul also is really, really good with the movement speed.
Yeah, a single Cloud Soul is not really that impactful at any point. Even if you can get 2, then it starts to feel real nice. 20% ult CDR is not to be sniffed at, but only 1 doesn't really have a material impact. And I mean, True Senpu is kind of already looking to get their ult reset most of the time anyway, so it's not too exciting. All it does do is it has delayed the Infernal Soul for O2 Academy because they didn't get that initial dragon pickup. So it gives them another chance to find a way back into this game, maybe get a better dragon setup, maybe exploit 02 Academy if they get cocky, if they get lazy with their setups. They could find a way back through here with a big team fight.
We're gonna see a lot of tank items coming in, and I'm really surprised the Nunu went for the Thornmail that early, because we see a lot of magic damage. Even if the Katarina, even though she builds AD, she still deals a lot of magic damage. We have the Derek, we have the Brand, and we really have a tank Volibear, so the only one you really need the Thornmail against is the Yon.
Yeah, and this is a 2 and 5. 2 and 5 Yone who only has 1 item on deck, so not the scariest one for sure. As Akuya feels similarly, I think, forces the ult in defense for Larut, as Akuya had the X-Tech ultimatum there and is still taking absolute control of these side lanes.
Meanwhile, Nikki is pushing down the bot lane, as it seems, and needs to watch out because he's not a 1v1 champion here on the Lux and can be taken down quite easily. Otherwise, if someone steps into a binding, they might be dead with the build he's going.
Yeah, for sure. They have gone the burst build. They've not gone for the Moonstone Renewer. They have not gone for full toxicity build today. So they are going to have a little bit of survivability with the Zonya's Hourglass, but still the burst Luden's Tempest option. And now they're basically just looking to set up a lot of vision around this dragon. They have a clear game plan in mind. Infernal Soul is the quickest way to victory they can think of, so we're just going to fight around it.
But on the side of Venom 5, they are pinging the Baron, so maybe they want to go for that. But they also don't have vision there, so maybe they think that the team 02 Academy is on it. And that gets spotted out quite fast.
Yeah. LA2K's come very close to this rush. Step forward now, and there's the binding into the CC chain with the ultimate flashes away. But Leonia can follow up so easily with the root and is now legendary. That's the critical kill. That's the smite off the table. You've got Nunu consuming smite. This Infernal Soul is going to be all but sewn up for them.
And that is, once again, really, really scary. We have an Asria who has a Hydra, who has heal reduce, who has 2 items. We will be getting an Infernal Soul on the damage as well. Same with the Lux and the Camille. That's really, really scary on the side of Venom 5.
Yep, Cridden now stepping forward, but eats a Mantrid Soul Flare from Jazza, and they still have so much vision for 02 Academy that they can see them coming here. Dragon's dropping very low, and Larut comes over the wall, drops it now, tries to contest this dragon, and steals it away. Cridden takes it out from under the Nunu, and now they're getting the kills. Venom 5, all of a sudden, they take their way back into this game. True Senpu diving forward, looking to get the kill onto Nikki, has been exhausted, but still has the resets, finally going to walk away, but we thought it was a sure thing for 02 Academy, but I spoke too soon.
Yeah, that is really
okay.
unlucky.
Well,
that's okay.
True Senpu at least has to die to make every play complete.
I'm not really sure how they lost the dragon with a Nunu. That's just another engagement.
Yeah, Kuya doesn't want to make this completely lost, but it's going to go down to Larut, and that's probably not worth, to be honest, that 1v1 trade.
Nikki once again with a good snipe on the backline, but the soul is lost without the jungler, and as a Nunu, that's not gonna feel good for Vanlo here. And yeah.
It feels like they're so willing to give up all space around the Dragon Pit. I know they have disengaged champions, right? They don't have great frontline, but you can, just make sure Akuya is there. He has TP up. You can be a bit more confident than that, right? You know you've got the numbers advantage. They don't have any frontline because you've already killed AL2K, and they lost the Dragon for it because they're not pressuring with the advantage they have.
And that's really, really not good on the side of the 02 Academy, because slowly Venom 5 is getting back into that game. They fall back, the Katarina is decently fat, has 2 items now, it's gonna be the Titan Slayer, and there's a Yona being on 2 items as well. And that's scary.
Yeah,
The Soul
absolutely.
crawl back, and then maybe you can do something. The Zeref is also slowly scaling up better and better.
Sure they do have. Oh, actually, that knockup comes through beautifully. Larut drops Jazza very low, and Vanlu is sure to follow. It's another successful play for Venom 5. Suddenly, they have woken up in this second game.
They're gonna ping the Baron, and that might actually be the Baron, unless once again the Juggler fails this tonight.
Yeah. And Akuya has the TP, so we could still... This is a very winnable 3v5, to be honest, because they have all three of the most important members of 02 Academy here. They've got Lux, Ezreal, and Camille, but it looks like they're maybe not even contesting. Nikki is going to find the vision. Here comes the TP now, down to below 4k HP on the Baron. Can they secure this one before it gets too dirty? They do get that Baron secure, but what can the red team find on the back of it? Akuya is in deep, but Lurkum has taken down Ezreal on the other side of the fight, and now Akuya is going to be bully circled in the pit. Nikki is next to follow. It's another flub. It's another succeed for Venom 5.
Yeah, and Venom 5 definitely is back into the game now. They get the Baron, no failed smite this time, they get 3 more kills, only lose Quidden, and that's... Yeah, that's everything they hoped for. They are back into the game, they have the goal lead right now, and they have the pushing power. They have a Brand and a Zerif to push with the Baron buff.
This is, I was about to say unprecedented, but this is Valve's League Division 4. It's absolutely not unprecedented. This is guaranteed happened many times before, but I am still excited to see it every time it does. So, now we have 02 Academy. They have taken some monumental L's in the last few minutes. What can they do to clean this one up? Where are they going wrong here?
I mean, Venom 5 right now needs to push with the Zerif, with the Brand. They have the pushing power, they have the volley barrier to maybe lock people up, to just zone them away. And on the other side, you just need to clean up your execution. You can't get catched, and that's another catch from another.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, Sempu's going to get that catch onto Leone. The exhaust will not quite do it. The shutdown still comes through, but it is at least traded by Ezreal, so could be worse, but it's still a 2-for-1.
Yeah, what 02 Academy needs to do is move as a team. They often get catched in the last 3 to 4 minutes in a 1v2, to be fair, but only like 2 members together, and then the Katarina right now has so much damage, has 3 items, has the healing to withstand the Karma and the Ezreal alone, and yeah, just move as 5 instead, or at least as 4 with Akuya in the sideline. That would also be a good option, but don't move with 2 people, because Katarina will melt you, Yone will melt you, and the Zerif will also dish out a lot of damage to the backline.
Yeah, it's a lot of threats now to deal with. They cannot play with the comps there before. Nicky's walking straight towards his brush, just going to get stunned up. This is the plays that 02 Academy were pulling against Venom 5 just minutes ago. Now they're getting the tables flipped on them. The Dragon is about to come up again. Let's see if Vanlu can redeem himself and at least get that Infernal Soul.
Yeah, once again, like I said, don't go for these kind of plays. You walk alone, that's better. That's going to be Akuya getting the lead down.
Yeah, Larut's going to fall. The ultimate comes through, but isn't going to take Leonia, but this leaves the Dragon completely exposed, and that is going to be the trade. 1 kill for 1 Dragon. Now both teams on Infernal Soul point.
So they're going to catch the Nunu here. Solo ultimate here from the Brand, which won't be enough. Nunu just rolls out of this.
Yeah, Sempu tried to dash forward to get that one, but is not going to find the range. And we're just going to split apart here. Still a 4v4 right now. Nikki going to come off the fountain before too long. The Baron buff is going to fall off soon as well. So not many objectives claimed with this Baron buff. But the fact that they got control of the map, they got more kills with that pressure, and they've got back in the Dragon Pit, plus just the gold. They're actually 800 gold in the lead right now, despite still being down 2 towers.
Yeah, and 2 kills, but kills don't matter anyways here. 22 to 24 right now, and it's another messy game. We just say once again, Nikki walks in alone with only Vanlu as backup, and he's a squishy Lux. He's gonna die, and he has the needs for it. He can just E onto the bush and check if there's someone in there, but he walks in, dies, and that's the Drake going down. In the meantime, Larut a little bit too far forward, dies as well. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 in total, with the Dragon going over to Venom 5. And yeah, now they kind of wasted their Baron buffs. They didn't got any turret, they didn't crack open the base. And Sempu once again going in, but this time just disengaged on the side of 02 Academy.
So now they're gonna get this wave pushed up without the Baron, as we say, but they do still have the poke from Cridden. They've got Brand as well. Larut still diving forward, playing with a lot more aggression and confidence now that he's got some gold onto this character. And Nikki is all the way up in that top lane with no TP. So there aren't that many bodies for the red team around this mid lane. Nikki looking, trying to decide whether he can keep pushing, and looks like he's not going to be punished just yet.
I don't like that. You don't want to split push as your Lux. I mean, it works out right now because nobody is responding, but why would a Lux want to split push? I don't see the reason here. Just go for a 4-1, you don't need to 1-3-1 this. Just let Ikuya be alone on the sideline, generating more than enough pressure. Go for a... And right now, I think V5 could have just dove that. You are in the 5v3, just... You have a volley barrier to disable the turret for a moment. You have the Katarina doing so much damage, just dives them.
Yeah, there's no flash on Leona, there's no flash on Jazza. Like, there's one arcane shift, and that's it for them. They're gonna be done.
You have heal, arcane shift, and then counter to maybe keep them alive. I'm not sure if that is enough with Crit and ultimate going down, with the damage from the Katarina, with the heal reduce from the Brand going down. You could have just dove that and then maybe get an inhibitor for free here.
It's not going to be pushed quite as hard as they could, but they are still going to hold on to that 1k gold lead as it now stands. The Baron's going to be coming up in a little while. The Dragon's still with well over 3 minutes left on that timer. So as we see in the previous game and through a lot of these games, they struggle to find a way to be proactive without a Dragon or a Baron to fight over. But at the very least, they're not throwing anything away too much. But yeah, like when you have a Kuya who can go into that side lane and get more value, maybe you can afford to be a bit more aggressive with that. Maybe you can look for the dives with the Volibear instead of just waiting for the nearest pit fight.
Yeah, I mean, they went for the safe play once again, which is something you see a lot on lower level games, that they are too scared to then commit to the dive. I mean, you also see that sometimes on higher level games, depending on which players are in there, that people prefer to go for the fully safe play instead of maybe commit for a dive that could win you the game in this scenario. Because if the dive fails, you might lose the game. It's still Camille has TP, so it might just be a 4v5 in that moment, and then you just misplay slightly and you lose 2 people or something like that without killing someone and getting the reset. So it's understandable to hold that off, but I think they could have done it there.
Yeah, it is. Would not be the first time a dive had gone wrong for a gold to bronze level team. So they are going to return to the mid lane. They did spend a little bit of time maybe thinking about the Baron there. They got control of the river, but now we see the pings coming onto the pit. And they're maybe just going to go and start thinking about that one instead. Less than a minute on that timer, getting some resets for Nikki. Maybe could look to get his 3rd item completed. Lux has not had too much impact so far and isn't going to get enough for the Rabadon, so that's going to be a big power spike not quite achieved for what could be a very, very important fight.
Yeah, both teams, rightfully so, shifting their attention towards the Dragon, because if you go towards the Baron, there's some cool plays you can do. You can have the Nunu solo the Dragon while 4 people hold you off the Baron, and then you have the soul again. Same with the Volibear, who could do that. And now both go for the Dragon because the Baron isn't that easy to solo at this point of the game.
Absolutely not. We do at least have all 10 members here. Akuya is going to be in the building for this fight. They're currently just getting that mid-wave pushed up. Larut making sure that's crashing to maybe split the attention just a little bit. Akuya is round the side here. Could find Cridden and get on top of them if they want to, but they're not going to get it done. Vanlu has started the Dragon up, gets stunned, but Alex UK is going through. Who's going to get it? And Volibear steals the Dragon away. It's another disaster for Vanlu in the pit. And the fight now has so far gone one-on-one. Akuya on the backside, but is going to get stunned up. Can they get more? No, they cannot. And Senpu tearing through the back line of 0-2 Academy, chasing Nikki away. Venom 5, they get the soul, they get the win. The Baron is there. They could look for the win anyway.
Yeah, that's most likely could be the game right here. Ionia is the only one who's lived. Although there are a lot of turrets left, but I think they can finish this, right?
Yeah, the AD Katarina really helps here because you've got so much damage taking down these turrets, and Larut as well is going to be absolutely shredding these structures. It is going to be all down to Leonia. They've got both summoners, they've got 4 items, and it is actually Venom 5 who call off the end. Maybe they'll just go straight to the Baron on the end.
And once again, you lose the soul with a Nunu. Something that can absolutely not happen. If you are playing Nunu, you're gonna have these 2 smites ready to get every single objective. It's like, what, 1,600 smite? You just lose it within the game. It's Baron time for Venom 5 right now, and that seems to be uncontested to them. And I don't understand, you still have the TP on Camille. Why didn't you just send the Camille into the top lane and split push to death right now?
Yeah, like, Lux managed to get that lane crashing
Yeah.
without TP before. Camille could definitely do it.
Yeah, I think you could have just played it slow, don't start the dragon yourself, you just walk Venom 5 around the dragon, go for the top lane, go for the split push with the Camille. I mean, Yon can enter Camille at this point of the game in the side lane, and then you get the turret, you TP in afterwards, and go for the kill, I guess.
I am slightly worried that I was already seeing teams pinging out the Elder in the chat with a 5-minute timer. You have Infernal Soul, you have Baron. It's not time to wait for the Elder. You do not have 5 minutes to waste in this game. We're 40 minutes deep. You gotta make some plays without a Dragon Pit.
And once again, you have Seraph. Oh, you have Katarina going in.
Yeah, you always have Senpu. If anyone's down for an aggressive play, it's Katarina. Isn't able to find it this time, but 11 kills now with 4 items completed and Infernal Soul. That is terrifying.
What is Venom 5 doing? Your mid lane is pushing anyway. Just push out the top lane, push out the bot lane. You have a Seraph. You can just group as 5 in one lane and poke them out while Venom buff is going on. And the only option that 0-2 Academy for that has is a TP of the Camille flanking or something like that. But we've seen it before, it doesn't work anymore because Katarina is so fat. So just slowly kill them. You don't need to wait for that dragon. Just... And you don't really need to go mid lane either, you already have the inhibitor there.
They're sitting so far back, and the Baron empowered wave is still just getting chipped away by Leonia. Not the Messiah finally being the one to step up, and Larute has arrived back as well. Diving over, maybe looking for more. Goes, actually drops the ultimate straight into the full team, and Jazza gets completely melted. Cridden grabbing the kill in the end, and that's one quick kill to start this fight off. They've got more waves, they've still got the Baron. Maybe Venom 5 can sew this game up.
Yeah, I mean, it works. If it works, don't question it, I guess. But they run it down mid lane, and I'm not sure if they have the damage to end the game. Couldn't very low. Good ultimate here from Lionia.
If Nikki can find a pick, they could turn this one around. Lute dies forward, but doesn't have the ultimate, could get rooted up under the tower. Lux actually just gets straight up 1v1'd, and Larute dives back to the body with the shields, taking all the damage. Cridden will at least get sniped away by Leonia, so still a 2-for-1 at the end of it. But now Venom 5, it looks like they're not quite sure if they want to do this. One recalling, one pushing, one kind of halfway between. They need to make a decision.
Yeah, they're gonna go one for them, Larute going in.
Yeah, Larute making that decision for them and gets a lot of damage down onto Akuya. Now this matchup seems to have tipped very far in the opposite direction after being Camille favored for so long, and they are not going to get the end. They'll get the inhibitor, they won't get either the Nexus towers, they actually get basically nothing.
Yeah, and once again, why don't you push top lane or bot lane with the Baron buff? You get a turret at least for free, because why would... I mean, I say, why would 0-2 Academy contest the second turret if they can just not...
No, but they are going to find Fanlu in the jungle, and it's going to be another dead Nunu. Not the side drop kind of low by the Arcane Barrage, but these Death Brushes, man, are doing a lot of work in this series. As now Akuya, he's going to find him. Malute dies forward and snipes away that blue buff. Another little tilter for the side of 0-2.
Yeah, Larute is a problem right now. He's going in, he's diving into the backline. Nikki just saved the barrier for the next fight, apparently, before he died, and he's just leading people. It's a 4-item Yone with almost a 5th item complete, and he's strong like no one else right now.
Yeah,
so,
that is full build.
Once again, why is Ikuya grouping with the team? You have the teleport. You are probably the only one that can kinda answer the Yone here in the side lane. And just generate pressure with your Camille. Don't play it as a teamfight comp if you have disengaged like nothing and a Camille for split push. Just treat it as a 4-1.
Well, unfortunately, my fears have come to pass, Silvcast. We have the Elder Dragon almost coming through, and Akuya is going to dive in and get caught up, get some damage onto Cridden, but is not going to get it done. Actually, Cridden drops very, very low, and the Guardian Angel comes through. Cridden forced to flash away. Akuya trying to get over the wall, but the stun will secure that kill, and Cridden not going to get tagged by the Arcane Barrage, and the Elder Dragon now is going to be coming up. Basically, nothing was done on that whole 5-minute timer, but now it looks like Blue Team Venom 5 have full control of the area and are looking to get this objective.
And they have 50-second death timer on Ikuya, and that should be enough to secure the dragon, I say, but greater things have happened.
Oh, Shimpu going over the wall, forced the flash out of Jazza, but now is kind of left on their own. Vanlu is not able to find a snowball, and they'll escape back into the river. AL2K has started the dragon, and Larue is just completely controlling the river, distracting them, trying to get on top of Leone. It's going to get rooted, it's going to get taken a lot of damage, but it's going to dive back to their body without too much trouble. AL2K and Messiah and Kritten securing this Elder Dragon. Senpu just waiting for the buff to come online to try and get some kills. Dice Horn, and in they go with the dashes, the dives, the daggers, and the kills are coming through. Another, a third. It's going to be absolute destruction from Senpu, getting the kills and the ace to sew it up. They're going to get this wave crashed in. Venom 5 push back against 0-2 Academy. They're looking to even out this series 1-1, not going down without a fight.
Yeah, what a comeback right there for Venom 5. It looked not really good in the early to mid game, but then some crucial smites missed on the side of the Nunu, and the Elder Dragon getting picked up, Katarina with the Elder Dragon executing everyone, triple kill in the end, and that's gonna be the game. 46 minutes in, we're gonna go to game 3, and I would say Silver Scrapes, but I'm not sure if we have that here.
I don't know if we have Silver Scrapes available, but man, we do have a hell of a series on our hands at the very least. This is exactly what I wanted. Maybe it could have been done in a few less minutes, but we are at least getting these roller coaster games between these two teams, and now we've had two very different drafts in game 1 and 2. I just don't even know what's coming in game 3.
Yeah, you will be surprised. I don't think both teams want to do much about the draft. Maybe gets Vanlu another champion than Nunu if he misses his smites, but otherwise it's coming down to execution right now, because I think that game could have very well gone to 0-2 Academy if they executed a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were poised to take it. They had the lead. They were doing so well after shaking off the problems in bot lane. They were executing their comp really well, disengaging the fights. Leonia was having a really strong game. And then, as you say, it just slipped away. Once they didn't get that Infernal Soul, it all just started falling to pieces, and they never got their feet back under them. And Venom 5 were only too happy to punish. So with that, we are going to go to another break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes to get the last game of this series done and dusted, to find out who's going to move to 2-0 and who is going to end their early season winning streak. Do not go anywhere, everybody. Stay tuned. Here we are back again to round off this series. Game 3 about to go wild here. Games 1 and 2 have absolutely delivered. And now, I mean, I came through saying that I didn't know what was going to come through in this draft, and I still frankly have no idea after pondering it for a few minutes. All I do know is that True Senpu is going in.
Yeah, he's gonna go in once again in this game, and Larut probably gonna play one of his better champions. Maybe we see the Yon band out this time, and then we might see the Tryndamere of him.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, for a lot of that game, the Yone was struggling pretty hard. Akuya had a great laning phase against him with the Camille. It just kind of didn't really translate into anything, and Larute was there ready to pick up all of these advantages on the backside of plays, and as soon as there was an opportunity for him to get strong, he took it, and then took the game into his own hands and was the one starting all the fights of Venom 5.
Yeah, you also can't underestimate the mental power that it was for him to delete two of the carries right before the game ended. So maybe that's something to watch out for. Maybe they banned the Katarina as well.
Hmm.
Also, I don't think that was a big strong point on the side of Venom 5, even though in the late game it did a lot of stuff. But if you execute the game a little bit cleaner and for 10 minutes after the third Drake, then or 5 minutes after the second Drake, you just win the game. It's just execution on this point. And then Trusempu got a little bit fat and managed to go off in a few fights because he's Katarina in the late game deleting carries.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like the draft was the problem for most of it, for sure. Like they had this really zany team comp to play up against, but they were dealing with it really well until they weren't, until the dragon fell
Yeah,
away. And maybe it's time for Van Lu to step away from the Nunu. He doesn't seem to be getting any of the extra like objective securing power from this pick, so maybe it's just time to shake it up and go somewhere else.
exactly. We're gonna see the Kane band away again from L to K. So no
Yeah.
draft differences yet. And maybe
Yeah.
we don't see any. I mean, maybe they also say, yeah, we lost on execution. We could have won that easily. And decide to just do the same again. And there's a Nico getting banned. Once again, the Maokai. No changes here.
For sure. And I think it could be pretty likely to see that. I think that I mean maybe if you're 02 Academy, you just kind of keep the bands the same and you just offer up the same picks and see if they take them again. Because I feel like they played around them very well last time, and with the experience they have under their belt after that game, it could maybe make it even harder for things like the Katarina bot lane to go off properly.
Yeah, once again, no changes as we mentioned. There's a Casio band. Oh, the Hecarim band is new, I believe. That was
Y-
second rotation band last time.
yes. I think it was a Vayne they were banning before.
No, the Jin. They banned the Jin.
Oh, the
The Jin
Jin, yeah,
getting
yeah.
first pick now.
Sure. And yeah, Leona going to happily step back onto that pick, though of course, it was I would honestly say it felt less impactful than the Ezreal, but still a very strong member of that game one win that they picked up. So now let's see if they want to go into the same thing. They're gonna pick up the Galio so far. Camille is open, so they maybe want to take that away. They could deny it from Akuya at the same time.
Yeah, that we also don't know if that is a flex pick for Quidden and the
Hmm.
Messiah. Although I'm not sure if that really is a Messiah pick from what we've seen. He didn't have the best last two games, and Galio is pretty hard to execute in a situation like this. So I might expect it going to Quidden because it's much easier to play the Galio in the mid lane. And once again, the Volibear for L2K.
Yes, had a very strong first 5 minutes or so, then kind of slowed down for 25 minutes, and then won the game. So,
Yeah,
I mean, L2K are definitely better than the Olaf performance, and Van Lu is going to go for the triple in a row, running back the Nunu, and maybe we can see these smites get a little cleaner. Maybe it's just a couple of warm-up games.
yeah, that's another Nunu. And hopefully no execute this time. Hopefully no smite this time. And Nikki gonna pick up the Oriana,
Hmm,
which is, to
that's
be fair, pretty good into Galio.
it's surprising to me, honestly. It feels like Nikki has often been trying to flex their power in the mid lane, and Oriana, well, you'd have good trading power, especially if you're into a Galio and you can outplay the Justice Punch in, you could have a strong lane performance there, but it doesn't feel as abusive as maybe the other champions that Nikki was going for before.
So what I think happened here is that Venom 5 led the Jin Open to have a better matchup for the Katarina here. Because Jin is very immobile, unlike the S3, can't just arcane shift away, and that's a lot more power for the Katarina in the bottom lane 2v2.
Yeah, looks like they have locked it in, and of course, True Senpu, we know is proficient enough to keep that one running. As now we're going to be looking at the top lane bans coming through here. Camille on one side, Fiora on the other. The Gnar is still available. The Yone still available.
I
We'll
expect
need
both to be banned now, and then I hope that Jazza goes for a CC support. Not unless all Leona, please. Oh, karma
Well,
went away.
the karma's taken away, so there's going to could still be a CC support for Jazza, but the Yone at least is going to fall away. So, let's see what they want to get for Larute here. We've had 2 carry picks and 2 kind of varying levels of carry performances at different stages in the game, so we
Tryndamere,
know he
please.
can hold up with that pressure.
We know his third champion is Tryndamere. He plays basically only Yone, Fiora, Tryndamere, and I want to see that. Please.
I would kind of love to see a Tryndamere,
Yeah,
to be
same.
honest. It's been so long. So far it's going to be the Lucian, which of course could be in the mid lane or the bot lane as well, so
Yeah.
still plenty of flexibility here, and they could even, potentially do what we suggested they might do in the second game, where you put Senpu on the Katarina, but then still run it into the mid lane.
It could also be the Lucian top lane for the
Yeah,
root. So
that's
that's
true.
a triple flex option. Because right now they have the Galio for support mid lane, the Katarina for AD carry and support and mid, and the Lucian for AD carry mid and top lane. So they have a lot of flexibility here. There's a Braum, which is, I'm not sure if that is enough of CC because the CC is so delayed of a Braum against the Katarina. If that's the Katarina bot lane once again. But
Yeah.
it should work. And there's a Malphite for the top lane this time.
Sure. So another strong CC combo, and actually, it's the Mordekaiser coming through for the route here. So they're gonna balance out their AD AP ratio and still pick something which they can win lane on, which they can scale up, take control of the side lanes, and have a lot of impact on. Though it is a little bit more complex, a little bit more fiddly to operate when you need to think about who you're ulting and what you can do with that.
There's a lot of change in style here. We see Nikki on a not so much pressure mid laner, and meanwhile Quidden is this time the one who needs to have the priority and the agency with Illusion in the early game, which is a counter matchup for Orianna. So he should be able to work with that. But after the last 2 games, Nikki just basically outperformed him in the mid lane. So let's see if that trend continue. And on the other side, this time we don't have the hard carry top laners. We have Mordekaiser for the root, and we have Malphite for Equia, which a Mordekaiser can run havoc into a team, but not as much as a Fiora can or a Yone can. And the Malphite is a Malphite.
Certainly, it's going to be even harder for Van Lane to hit those smites if he's in the Death Realm as well. So
Yeah, that's
maybe at least it then wouldn't be as much their own misexecution. It's genuinely just like a counter that Larute can execute on if he's got the timing right. But I think that I think mid lane is what I'm most interested to go through here, because the fact that Cruden is on Lucian and is into Orianna, this is a good matchup for Lucian, but you need to be able. It's a good matchup if you push it and exploit it as such. Cruden has been playing pretty far back, pretty safe, pretty passive overall. Partly that's because Nikki has been so dang aggressive the whole time, but if you're Lucian, you've got to be able to step forward and you've got to be confident enough to try and get the advantage, or you're just going to get outscaled.
Yeah, from level 9 onwards, sometimes even earlier, the Orianna can trade back against the Lucian. Before that, it's just free havoc for Lucian. He can just walk up and auto you twice, E onto you, get the triple autos with the pressy attack that you're most likely gonna win, and destroy an Orianna. But after the Orianna gets her first item, if she goes for the burst Ludens, then it's gonna be harder for Lucian because Orianna QWs you, autos you once, and walks away with face rush. There are a lot of things in this matchup that you can do as Orianna once you scale a little bit up.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to see Nikki taking that most burst heavy option as taking what we know from them from this series so far. So, if we look towards this bot lane now, once again, we still have True Senpu potentially down there, but now it's with a Galio support, not a Brand, and it's into a very different pair of champions. So do you feel like Senpu, I mean, we know it's a better matchup straight 1v1 into the Jin, but in the 2v2 scenario, do you feel like they're still going to be able to make it count?
I think it's definitely better than the Karma Ezreal lane, but it comes down to the execution of the Galio, right? Because he needs to get the CC down onto Lionia, and then Trusempo needs to follow up because we know he's going in. And if they mis-execute that, then the Galio most likely will die. The Katarina might get away or die herself, but in the end, the Galio needs to get the CC, and I'm not sure if I count on not the Messiah after the first 2 games, which he didn't really perform the best of his team.
Yeah, the engages were not the strong points for Not the Messiah there. Jazza did, at least, despite the fact that they, died quite a few times on the Galio pick with the Imperial Mandate build, they were often, deep into that front line, finding taunts to try and set up their team for success. And it was a part of their victory at least. So we'll see if Not the Messiah can clean it up and get similar value. Of course, there are plenty of opportunities for him to do this. And like if you're looking at Galio setups, I mean, you've got AL2K, I suppose, and Senpu diving deep. We know Senpu loves to dive deep in at the slightest opportunity, and the Galio could make that a little bit of a safer option.
Yeah. Not much to add on that. I still don't really understand the Braum pick here. I think either Nautilus or Leona would have been way, way better. You don't have that much value of the Braum shield as well, because there's basically no projectile except for Katarina Q, I guess. And the
Does the
Oriana ball.
the ultimate, does it count as a projectile coming out of her? Can you block that?
I think it does, but you only block like the first part, and then
Sure.
it's reduced damage. But does Katarina really care?
Yeah, and you just jump behind you anyway, and like if Katarina's in the middle of 3
Yeah.
people, you can't block all of them, so
Once again, Galio with the heal here.
yeah, Senpu just needs the ignite. Senpu needs the kill switch in their own inventory to jump forward here, and Not the Messiah just going to be following up cheerleading from the back. Jin Leonia has opted for the exhaust again, which I think is still the right call here. But now we do also see Cridden with the ignite in the mid lane. So this is good. This says to me that they are going to try and flex the power of this pick properly.
Yeah. What I don't really understand is the ability as a barrier on the Oriana. You usually see on higher level players the teleport, because you just get so much value off of it. You might get chunked by the illusion, but you just TP back and it's fine. And here we see the barrier, so Nikki is scared from dying 1v1, so she takes the barrier to survive. But last game I wasn't really impressed by her barrier uses on the Lux, because she sometimes didn't press it when she needed to. So let's see how this changes.
Yeah, and I mean, a positive change coming through into this game is I have been able to get into spectator mode properly, and I'm sitting here at 10 seconds, so this is a good sign going into this game. I'm feeling good about this. I think we're going in for a nice resolution to this series.
Yes.
Absolutely. And there we go, straight into the game. Game 3 here, ready, and we'll need to see if they still go for a quiet level 1. That's the one thing that I think has missed from this series. We've seen a whole lot of variety in this series so far. The only thing that we're missing is a level 1 fight, and I don't know, maybe it's not the time for it, but I'd love to see it anyway.
I mean, you could. You have Braum, right? You can just walk in, get an auto, and the auto hits will stack. On the other hand, you decide not to, I guess. I would have liked an evade here. Katarina's not that strong early level 1. The Lucian won 1v4 at level 1 invade, and you have the Braum to maybe stack up some passive stacks with the Oriana.
Halo Blades.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so the Guardian I probably would have expected, but I mean, Halo Blades is certainly a choice.
It's aggressive, let's say that. And on the other hand, you have Nunu playing Phase Rush instead of Aftershock, which is also a really interesting choice.
Yeah, we do have a lot of aggressive moves here, and we've got Ikuya running the standard Arcane Comet build as well, not going for Grasp, as some people are now flexing towards in Malphite. Is that the correct call in the Mordekaiser matchup, or what, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's the correct call here, because you don't want to get into the melee range of the Mordekaiser. He will just proc his passive and win the trade. So that's fine for me. What I also want to highlight is a press the attack on the volley, which I think is not as standard, right?
Not in the jungle, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
and even in topside, people are going Grasp more often now, I think, right?
Yeah, right? I think the same. I think Conqueror or Grasp, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some are probably going press, but
I think press the attack was good when you were like rushing Triforce, right? And going
Yeah.
like Triforce into like a Tiamat item or something just very aggressive and just exploiting how broken the champion was at that point. So still, it does give him strong burst. And you know, if you've got the 2v2 situation with Crit and maybe the press attack of the own and the ignite, this 2v2 combo between these two players is pretty deadly.
Yeah, for sure. As we see, Nicky getting good trades against Solution here, because if Solution doesn't watch out, the ball placement here can be good and just chunk him out a little bit, but nothing too serious here.
Yeah, we do see Leone now taking some damage back from the level 2, not the Messiah, not going to land that taunt critically though, and they're going to keep this wave pushed up. Neither jungler is around, so they're going to be free to do this as much as they want.
Kuya dropping really low here. Good trade from the wood, but there's a Nunu.
Yeah, that's the power of the passive, but here comes the snowball. We do see L2K in the jungle, could maybe get here in time, but the knockup is good. Larut forced the flash away, and Akuya can slow them with that seismic shard. It comes to the Mordekaiser passive, though, still has the shield ready. If they can't get this kill before too long, it's going to turn very ugly for them as the flashes have come out, and L2K supporting their jungler. Vanlu isn't going to get pulled back. It's actually Malphite that gets taken up as the first blood. I thought he was out free and clear, but regardless, Larut takes the win.
Yeah, first blood from Mordekaiser. Really good here. It's a solo kill, unfortunately, so no assist for L2K, even though he flashed. But still, it's first blood. It's a kill on the Malphite. It's a kill onto your Mordekaiser, and that is really good. What should not happen, though, is that Quidden is losing lane as Lucian against Orianna.
Yeah, this is not a good sign for Cridden right now. It's hard to get a better matchup, and it is not going well for them at all. You can see the potions and biscuits in the inventory for Nicky as well. They can trade all day, and if Cridden's not careful, it's going to be taken down, as Leona also has got to keep his mind open, but now Senpu's picked up that kill. Cridden, with the jungle support from L2K, is going to get it. Nicky unable to find the kill with the flash, and suddenly now it all gets turned on its head.
And it's all going wrong for 02 Academy. It's a kill for True Senpu in the 2v2. I told you they drafted for it, so if they land to CC, it's so much damage. Then the gang from L2K. Nicky flash barriers into the Lucian, but doesn't manage to get the kill quite. And it's a kill for the Lucian, who's now 1-0 ahead. And that's early game that he played without fighting early onto the Orianna and just trying to farm up against her and getting poked out is now negated by the fact that he has a kill.
Yeah, that is exactly what the Doctor ordered for Cridden in that mid lane, and meanwhile, while that was going on, we saw the fight in bot side, Senpu actually getting the clean first kill down there, which does not spell good news for Leonia.
And now you have basically 4 lanes that are 3 lanes that are winning on the side of 02 Academy, and it's on the Nunu to make a little bit work, to make a little bit up and come back into this game, because you're 1000 gold behind at 5 minutes already. You lost 3 kills, and so far I wasn't really impressed with Vanlu's Nunu, so I'm not sure if he is the player to just start ganking, especially on a Nunu who wants to farm up.
Yeah, it's not been the best series for Vanlu so far. We did see them get a bit more proactive in game 2, but still unable to have the impact that AL2K was having so far, and they've got one successful gank under their belt already. Senpu now, and not so maybe to looking to start some sort of a freeze, or actually dives forward and gets tagged by the Brom passive. Isn't going to get stunned, but takes a fair bit of damage. AL2K now calling straight in, sees the bat signal in bot lane and comes in to assist. Can't find the stun, however. Leonia and Jazza kiting it out well. Vanlu's there to support if needed.
Yeah, that's a good trade here over the wood lands, and
That's the full shot, but is going to get taunted up by Not the Messiah and doesn't get any more execute damage there. Larut, meanwhile, on top side, has dropped the Death Realm on Akuya, who doesn't have an ult of their own, dodges the Q, but is dropping so low and burning away from that passive. Larut goes to 2-0 in top.
yeah, you have no business as a Malphite to ever fight the Root. He's so strong, he just reached level 6. Used that advantage, doesn't even need the Ignite to get the kill. And that's a 2-0 Mordekaiser, and that's scary. They're gonna get the Dragon as well. But the game is just keep snowballing away from 02 Academy. It's only the Orianna holding up really well against the Lucian, which should be good, but if all of the lanes are losing, that's really bad for 02 Academy.
Yeah, Venom 5 taking the momentum of game 2 and running with it very powerfully so far. Cridden diving over, maybe looking to just clear out that blast cone, and the Dragon's going to be picked up by AL2K. So, they are 4 kills up to none. They've got a 1.2k lead in gold here at the 7-minute mark, and the Dragon, it is looking very nice for Venom 5 to turn this series around after losing game 1.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about that smite from L2K, which was
No.
way off and almost let Braum steal the dragon there. But it is how it is, and they don't lose the dragon this time, so...
Never punished.
Calculated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking now, and it's nice to see that Senpu does have even CS and Leonia this time. I mean, they got that first blood, and they're keeping up, despite the fact that Not the Messiah has been out of the lane a fair bit. So they're not going to get double CS, not going to get Flame Horizon in the other game this time, and that just makes me all the more worried for Leonia's life as Senpu keeps scaling up that gold.
Yeah, and like I said, they let the Jin through on purpose to have the Katarina matchup, the good one. And I think the 4 teams need to be wary of True Senpu's Katarina bot lane if it starts winning against the True Academy, who are
Look at
to
that damage. Not the Messiah back in, and the ult picked up by True Senpu does get critically stunned by the Katarina, the bomb pressive, I should say, and Leona's heal will keep them alive, but dives forward with the dagger, another tower shot, will it do it? Senpu slips away, perfect dive from Katarina. Leonia just has to watch in dismay.
And Sempu still doesn't seem to be gone yet. And that's his smite, and he's gonna go back finally.
Yeah, definitely
Really
time to
clean
leave.
dive. And like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Braum. He just needs too long to get these passive stacks. And Katarina gets half of her combo through before that happens. You have to heal Flash, no, you heal Exhaust just before your stun comes through. And that's not what you want. I think a Leona or a Nautilus would have been way better to disrupt the Katarina.
Like an Alistair or something as
Yeah,
well. Just something that can just actually get rid of the threat straight away with one button.
Yeah.
But alas, it is not the case. Jazza is on the Braum right now, having had the Karma banned away as well. So, as we take another stock of the game right now, as you were saying before, Orianna is the only one winning, and Nikki definitely has been the standout player, maybe of the series so far. I think that while Senpu's had a lot of flashy moments, there have been about as many ints as big plays, so
Yeah.
I don't want to give them too much credit.
I mean, Nikki on the Nico was really impressive. Probably the best play we've seen so far.
Oh,
And the
that
cleanest
loop.
execution, that's the Lulu.
Wants to chase in, the curtain call can keep them slowed up. Perfect shots coming through. Senpu dropped very low. Galio ult will stall them out a little bit. Senpu now diving forward onto Not the Messiah's back. He gets back to the minion wave and slips out alive. The fancy footwork from Katarina dodges away from the gank, and they're getting Herald on top side.
Yeah. They do get the Herald, the Malphite is a little bit out of position, needs to run right now. And Jetta messed up a little bit because he only auto-attacked Katarina. If he would have auto-attacked the Galio as well, he might get the kill on the Galio.
Braum drops the ultimate onto the Galio and forces the flash and heal out, so they're not going to let them get away completely for free, but they're still unable to get the kill. It's basically just going to be the one plate, and with the other side getting Herald, that's normally at least 2 or 3 in one go.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's L2K is now counter jungling instead of just running mid, cleaning the wave, getting the turret plates in mid lane. Or even getting the whole turret would be possible, I believe, with a Lucian. They decide to go for the counter jungle and wait with the Herald for now. But let's see how much value they can get out of it.
Yeah, it's going to be clearing that away, and Larute still controlling this top lane quite well. Hasn't got any more kills so far, and it must be said Akuya keeping up on CS, which is nothing to be sniffed at. But you've got to imagine this is still definitely a losing matchup. L2K now looking to follow up, and Akuya finally walks into the grasping claws on Mordekaiser into the death realm, and nowhere left to run. A killing spree in the straight 1 versus 1. L2K, maybe it's time for the Herald. Here come the plates.
Yeah, that's gonna be the Herald most likely, is it?
Maybe?
Drop it?
I...
Or? Okay, they do not drop the Herald yet.
There's still time. There's another wave.
Oh,
Maybe. There it is.
There we go.
Okay. We're not going to just completely missing ping that one. But yeah, this is probably top tower. Maybe going to fall. Vanloo's actually up there and can try to do something about it. Looks like the tower will maybe survive off the back of Vanloo covering it. The Dragon's going to be up pretty soon, though, and they're not going to have any river control for it.
Yeah. That's... The Herald drop 2k is now the lead in 10 minutes. And I would say that should be able to snowball the game, but from what I've seen in my DL, it doesn't really need to snowball the game yet.
No, it's definitely far too early to call any kind of state of play for VL Division 4, that's for sure. Critten now finding getting aggressive onto Nikki with True Senpu waiting. Vanlu is there, the culling has been dropped, and Senpu's gonna get knocked up by Vanlu, just retreating back to the tower. Critten forced to flash away, dropping the both very low. Shockwave is huge and trades back onto Lucian, but nonetheless, Senpu will still get a kill along with Critten. It's the 2 versus 1, and the dragon is live.
3-0 on the Katarina. We are now 1-8. Unfortunately, not Brazil, Germany, but close enough. And yeah, I've got to say, Nikki's farm is actually outstanding. Like 110 PS at 12 minutes is really impressive.
With 2 deaths in a Lucian matchup, like my goodness.
For the era we are in, even for like Diamond, that would be impressive in that matchup. So props to Nikki here.
Nikki looking really good so far. If there's any player to watch going forward after this series, it's probably Nikki. I think that, like, even though this game is not looking too hot for them right now, I think that they would probably stack up as one of the best mid laners in this division, just from what I've seen out of this player.
Yeah. Also, very interesting that he opts to go for the magic resist boots on the Orianna, which is really good for the game and really bad for the lane.
Yeah.
In this case. So.
And I mean, when the lane's already going that well, you can be like, well, maybe I don't have to worry about it so much. Let's just play for the mid game, get myself prepared before it gets too bad.
Yeah, the Nunu lane gank not really working out.
Yeah, hard to catch Senpu, as we've seen already, and actually takes a fair bit of damage. Back in Senpu, comes back in with the ultimate. AL2K diving forward, Galio up to follow. This has all of a sudden exploded. Venom 5 firing back with a vengeance, and Senpu going on a rampage with another dive kill onto Jin. Nikki now has rocked up, forced the flash behind the tower, does have the shockwave if they want to throw it, and not the Messiah's got no mana, but Senpu wants to dive forward and get this fight started, but doesn't get locked by the shockwave, dashes out of range, and not the Messiah now left in the lurch, forced to be taken down by Nikki. AL2K trying to get some revenge on the backside, but the tower will keep them alive. Jazza gets that stun, and Senpu coming to the tower. If they can get on top of Nikki, they could absolutely pop them, and I think Nikki knows it.
Yeah, once again, Nikki coming in clutch. Really good shockwave in this case. Not getting the Katarina, but getting the Galio under the turret, getting the kill, and at least getting something back, but they are losing the turret for it. Or
this game is snowballing out of control very quickly for O2 Academy. They are now 5k down before the 15-minute mark, 10 kills to 2 with 2 dragons lost. It is, at least, I believe, a Mountain Rift, so not the most impactful. Is going to make AL2K pretty beefy. It looks like not the Messiah's going the tank build as well, so it's not great to give the soul away regardless, but at least it's not another Infernal Rift.
Yeah, at least it's not an Infernal Rift, but the Mountain Rift, we're going to take that. And the Nunu Rift again getting caught. And
yeah, just finds him and drops the Death Realm straight away. Yeah, there's nowhere to go for you, Vanlu, and now he's got the stolen stats and could just take this fight against the Kuya, though Nikki, ever the guardian of O2 Academy, will see him off at the pass. It's just going to be the 1 kill, I guess, in the jungle.
That's how my solo queue games feel when I play Orianna.
Yeah.
Like, you want to slowly throw up, and at 50 minutes you look at the scoreboard and the rest of the team is like 0 and 8.
Yeah, enemy bot lane Katarina's 4 and 0. Like, I'm getting dived onto my turret by a bot lane Katarina. This is not how it should be going.
At least, I hope at least that in here the team isn't flaming as well.
Ooh, forces the flash out of Senpu. Nikki, once again, you cannot sleep on this guy. And now AL2K is here to support Jazza as well, but I love that he's still looking for those plays.
Yeah. Really good spacing by Nikki here. The Katarina doesn't get in range, which is only doable if you half-perfect execute your spacing with the ball in the auto attack range, otherwise you might lose the ball and can't trade back, or, well, the Katarina jumps on you and kills you.
Yeah, that is definitely a real threat here, as we now see Orianna has gone and got that Luden's Tempest on deck, while there are 3 mythics available already for Venom 5 on top, mid, and jungle. And I'm really looking at Larute 4 and 0 with the Riftmaker done, going very quickly towards the second item, Rylai's as well. Who is going to deal with this Mordekaiser?
Nobody.
Well,
straight nobody, so.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I don't think anyone's dealing with him. And
yeah, just run away, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna need QSSs sooner or later on the side of New Academy.
Yeah,
otherwise the Mordekaiser will kill you.
It kind of does feel like all Larute has to do is walk up and Death Realm the Orianna, and then it's a done deal at that point. Oh, True Senpu still fighting Orianna on this bot side. Nail 2K looking for something in the mid lane as well, but True Senpu, can they get the job done? With Nikki, gets the shield, drops the barrier, the tower shot comes through, and True Senpu once again is rebuffed. Nikki not going to be taken down this easily, as now Jazza forces a flash out of Critten with that Glacial Fissure in the mid lane.
Yeah, magic with his boots coming in clutch right now. Katarina still deals so much magic damage with the daggers, with the Q, with everything except the ultimate, I believe. So that's a lot of magic damage coming down. Does the ultimate still do 80 damage? I'm not sure.
Which ultimate?
Katarina used to do 80 damage. I'm not sure if they changed that.
Someone can check the tapes.
If they changed it, probably did it a long time ago.
Post it in the chat if you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe they're going to catch on the other side. They can't quite get the Brom stun. They will get the root, but no follow-up. And L2K zoning away with the Lightning Bolt. Jazza trying to find something, but it's so scary to just even put any foot in an aggressive position when you know Senpu's around the corner. As they're starting up this third dragon, looking to get that soul point on deck nice and early. There's not really a contest, but they're not blocking the 4 shots either. Vanlu's coming around the side. Nikki is in bot side. They've still got a lot of damage to do, and they're taking a fair amount of damage from Dragon themselves. Once again, not the cleanest Dragon take, as it slightly resets. Could be a chance for O2 Academy to get back into this one. Akuya has the ultimate ready. How are they going to play this one out? But he goes and gets onto Critten, but Lucian still gets the dragon. Is he going to escape alive? Akuya will try to get the job done. He at least will take him down, but Larute is here on the backside and gets the solo kill onto Nikki. Lyonia doesn't want any part of this. And I mean, it looked sketchy once again, but still it's Venom 5 coming out on top. Oh no, it's not even done. Banlu, please, dominating Larute, 6-0-0.
They went for the death ball, but they went for the death ball only a solution when they had like 20 seconds with 3 targets stacking on top of each other at the Dragon Pit, which wasn't the cleanest, but in the end, Ikuya only goes onto the Lucian, the Shockwave only hits the Lucian as well, and that's fight over. You might kill the Lucian, but there's a 4-0 Larute, as we mentioned, there's a 4-0 Katarina, and the Lucian isn't the big problem. I mean, now Larute is 6-0, and really, really strong.
It's, the problem is just kind of looming over the horizon in the distance every now and again. It's still quite far away, and you know, you can just walk away from it when you see it coming towards you, but it is getting bigger and bigger, and eventually you are not going to be able to escape this Larute Mordekaiser, who's probably about to get his Rylai's right now, and that's not what you want to see if you're O2.
Yeah, you're 8,000 gold down right now. Not quite.
Well, the Demonic Embrace, sure,
Yeah.
that's also very good.
And it's really hard for 02 Academy to play this game, because who do they have? They have an Orianna who's decently fed, but Orianna isn't really the champion to just 1v9 carry you in a team fight. I mean, even with 5-man Shockwave right now might not be enough.
Yeah, it is. The options for 02 Academy are quickly dwindling away as the gold continues to slide away from them. It's now 7.5k in favor of Venom 5. So what I'm now looking forward to here, neither of these teams proved that they could quickly close out a game with a lead. They were just kind of waiting for the Dragons and the Barons over and over. Maybe it's time for Venom 5 to break that pattern, or maybe they just keep going with what works.
Yeah. What we can take away from the series, though, is some members on both teams need to work on the champion pool. If you're...
Some members.
yeah, we're gonna see
at
one
least
of them.
one. At least one, definitely.
I would say more than one. I think not the Messiah and True Senpu should also work on it. Maybe even Jazza if he doesn't play like the hard CC champs that we wanted in this game. So...
Yeah. I think that the Katarina has definitely looked... I mean, it's looked good in this game. In the second game, it actually looked pretty bad at times, and the Ashe did not look great as well. The positioning was very questionable, so I think you're actually right. Like, if you just ban away Katarina, or maybe, you know, build your draft around expecting it to come through, you could probably punish this pick quite easily.
I mean, we know that he's maining Katarina from last season, and then he only plays Vayne, so he has one HP, and that's it. So... I believe there are probably a lot of Div 4 AD carries that can play like Zaya or Zena or something like that.
Jazza, no.
Jazza.
Caught in the jungle. That was an ambitious flash. I don't think it was working out. I think you were done so either way. But that's just going to be one kill. It is only the support, but it looks like Venom 5, they might be considering just going for the Baron here. And this is what I want to see. They're so far ahead. They can definitely do this.
Yeah, there seems to be no contest coming in on the side of 02 Academy, which they spotted out now, and they don't work towards it. I guess the Moon might try to do something here.
Yeah, the 4-shot, the curtain call is coming through, but it's going to be easily blocked away, and they're going to be burning through it before anyone can get a look in. Something else that I think we touched on briefly, but I want to bring up again here, is that the vision for Venom 5 has actually been remarkably good. Whenever they have something important to do, they are littering the jungle with wards around it, and you could see it there on that topside blue jungle, covered in pink wards, the river as well. They did know what was coming.
The thing is that the vision score for Not the Messiah is still atrociously bad. For them having that good of vision right now.
It's being carried by L2K a bit.
Yeah, because 26 at 22 minutes is, you look to have 40 or 50 right now. At least 40, better 50 to 60 maybe even.
Yeah, Jazza on the other side has hit 39, so is closer to what we would expect, and I think has shown that they have been probably the more proficient support, I think, conclusively throughout this series, but with the rest of the games going the way they are, it is sometimes hard to show that.
If you go on like pro games in LCS and LEC, people have 110 plus vision score in 30 minutes, so
yeah,
that would be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, hit that triple digits, and then you know you've made it, and then we will see where we are. But now we here have the 4th dragon here, the Baron buff ticking away, once again not really being used to push anything, but let's see who wins the flip today. All 10 members have arrived, the blast cone is there, the dragon is still pretty healthy. What can you do now, 02 Academy? It's going down very quickly. Are you going to be able to get in time at all? They are far too late on this one, and Vanlu has nowhere to go, flashes away from the Death Realm. Larut doesn't even want to waste his flash going after it. A shockwave lands onto Cridden, but the soul is picked up so easily.
Yeah, and we see that Nuno goes in way too late, but then still gets death round. Yeah, there wasn't really any chance to contest, and Venom 5 manages to do this very well, way better than 02 Academy on the other side. In the last game, they had the Mordekaiser ultimate ready to zone the Nunu out, get the dragon, unless there's someone else stealing, which could be possible with an Orianna to be fair, but not as easily as a Nunu, and there's the fight.
There goes the fight, and legendary is Larut once again. L2K slamming down on top of Vanlu as that first mid inhibitor with fall. Now Larut is at 8-0 and 0 on Mordekaiser. There is no assisting this man. If he walks into a fight, he is getting the kills.
Yeah, this game Larut has been flawless after he got a 1v4 triple kill in game 1. He was quite not as good in the second game, although in the mid game on Yone he went kind of crazy, like the leading members of 02 Academy, but this game 8-0-0, half the kills of his team, doing a lot of stuff.
Doing an awful lot. And on the other side, Akuya, who did, you know, decently well in game 1 and still had good teamfight impact, then very well in game 2 in the laning phase, has just never really logged onto the Rift so far. They had one Malphite ultimate, which wasn't that great. They've been bullied around in this rough lane matchup, and it just seems like they don't have the agency to win this lane because of the matchup, and without that, they haven't really been able to bring much else.
Yeah. I mean, I said it before the game, it's a big change of style for 02 Academy. With Nikki on that Orianna instead of something to have Prio, with the Malphite coming in for Ikuya instead of a split pushing, teamfight impacting champion like Camille on R, it's a lot of differences here.
Yeah, and it's not working out so far. Venom 5 are looking very comfortable right now, looking for another little Death Brush play, which they got a lot of value out in the second game around the Dragon. Now they're going to step forward into the jungle, will be spotted out on a ward, so probably not going to find anyone here, but actually Nikki is quite far out of position, gets stunned, but drops the flash regardless, and Larut looking to try and catch him on the side, will flash forward into the Death Realm, and that is going to be curtains for you, Nikki. huge damage coming through and uses the stasis just to delay it, but there is no getting out of this one with the shockwave coming through. True Senpu will be the one to chase down and finish it off. AL2K actually wants the flash for it, but Katarina will still grab it. Now the waves are crashing, mid inhibitor is down, the kills are flying. It is just so tough for 0-2 Academy right now.
You also have the Lucian in the top lane just lip pushing you down. That's a good left side.
Oh, finally, Akuya heard us talking shit in the chat and goes in with that engage. The Galio wants to follow up to try and keep them alive. Senpu is getting kind of pressured. Leonia trying to get the kill and will actually fail to get it done. Senpu drops so low but comes back swinging, is dominating now as Cridden arrived from mid lane and they will just swarm over the base. Cridden has that wave already crashing, and Venom 5 after 2 cataclysmic first games take an absolute statement win over 0-2 Academy, 21 kills to 3, and they take the series 2-1.
Really well played here, definitely execute, and another last kill to finish things up. 16,000 gold ahead, 27 minutes in, absolutely demolishing 0-2 Academy in the last game. But I think that might also be a little bit of tilt from this game before, which they lost really unlucky. And yeah, that's gonna be the 2-1 win for Venom 5.
Yeah, you can still see that on the damage graphs as well. The root tops it out, of course, with the Mordekaiser, but Nicky's did the second most, did slightly more than Senpu. And apart from, getting caught out in that mid lane fight just there before the game literally ended, they've got a low score right here, but they're getting pressured so hard. The rest of the game is just burning around them, and they are still trying to find plays, getting their CS to a decent level, forcing the enemy to not relax.
And we are going into an interview in a few seconds, I believe, right?
We have Alex for the interview. I don't actually know who Alex is because none of the players are called Alex. So, I mean, maybe it's Ali2K. Maybe it's actually Alex. Oh, it's the support. It's not the Messiah. Okay, so it's the one person from that team that we've kind of been low-key flaming the most.
Nice, perfect. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's. I mean, I can say his item choice was better.
Yeah, for sure. He's actually in right now, so let's just get straight into it. Well done, congrats for the win, Alex. How do you feel about this one? Do you feel it was clean and confirmed from the start?
We had a very sloppy first 2 games where we didn't really. I feel like after about the middle of game 2, our mental settled out, and we went to game 3 like, you know what, it's fine. We won game 1. If we lose this, it's okay, and we just went chill for the entire game. And I feel like that mental allowed us to get an edge.
Yeah, I think the game really felt like the tipping point when you stole that dragon away to deny the Infernal Soul, and it feels like 0-2 Academy literally just never recovered from that point. You won every fight from then into game 3, and then you just kind of walked on them.
It was a huge confidence booster. It put all of us back into the game. And well played to them though. That Nico in game 1 was fucking insane.
It's I can say as a Nico player myself, if you don't know how to play against the Nico, it's really hard for you because Nico doesn't pop up a lot in solo queue. And
I don't see it in my games ever.
Yeah.
I'd like to say well done to my boys though. I feel like they've really improved in the scrims we've set up, and I'm proud of all of you.
So you're the support, right?
Yeah, I'm the support.
So what about your champion pool in general? Because the AP Malphite and the Brand did not really work out as you wanted to.
I'm going to be honest, in the bot lane, my IQ is not really that great. I enjoy the role, but I'm not actually that smart when it comes to it. I see Galio, I press play.
I mean, the Galio was good. So you
probably the best pick, yeah.
Yeah, you went for better items than your opponent support on the Galio, in my opinion.
The Malphite was just an int pick because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
They kept banning my Maokai, which really upset me. It's my favorite thing to play. Awesome.
Yeah, it is. I would not be surprised if you could have a big impact on that one for sure. Maokai is still, even with the nerfs coming through, feels very, very abusive to go through. But how does it feel playing in a bot lane with True Senpu? Because we had the Ashe that was playing like a Katarina, and then we had the Katarina playing like a Katarina. What's the comms and the mental like down there?
I gotta be honest. We went into it, and I was like, "This is either gonna go awesome, or we're gonna get super mad." And I'm glad it went the right way.
Yeah. Well, so in that second game, when it was going pretty rough. Like, are you guys getting like pretty tilted down there, or is it just like, man, I guess next game's gonna be better?
It comes and it goes. I do my best as team captain to make sure that everyone's having a fun time, and
Yeah.
it's just all about making sure, hey, calm down, we can make it, but you have to be there for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It was and in game 3, I think we really saw like that kind of payoff and what the team can do if it starts on the right foot and then continues and doesn't have like any problems in the draft and doesn't fumble anything early, and you just kind of walked it all the way through. I think one of the big points of that felt like Larute in this top side. Seems like they can kind of just be left on their own to just survive. It's like Alex tends to, or AL2K. Is it Alex or is it AL2K or Ala2K?
We're both Alex, so it's really hard
Sure.
because I'll hear it and I'll be like, "Are you talking about me?" But yeah.
Okay, so we'll call it
Senpu's trying to get me to flame. It's great.
we'll call him Ala2K just to distinguish for now. But it seems like he's mostly focusing on mid and bot lane. And is Larute just kind of a quiet member of the team? You just kind of go, oh, he's solo killed again. I guess we're fine.
He's very vocal, and he
Sure.
goes quiet when he's ahead or behind because he'll just focus in on one thing. Like we just saw him getting kill after kill on Mordekaiser, and we were just like, yeah, we can just leave him there. It's fine.
He did get 1 assist by the end. Sadly, didn't get the perfect 10-0-0, but I mean, it's a small thing to get mad about in a game like that.
We got to a certain point in the game and we were like, we could go for the flawless, but I think that'd be a bit tilt.
Yeah, it would be a bit much. Sylv, do you have any more questions for not the really. Messiah right here?
Not really anymore. You covered everything.
Well, there we go. Thanks for stepping in and chatting to us. It's good to hear that you have like proper, thoughts and opinions on mental and keeping the team together and are taking it. Even though the games look a bit clownish at times, you guys are definitely taking it seriously and trying your best, and it shows. In that game 3 especially, it shows the effort you guys have put in. So I hope to see more from Venom 5 going forward. You're one of my favorite teams to watch last season of Val's League, and I don't think that's going to change here in Division 4.
Oh yeah, it's a roller coaster. L2K says that he's got the drip, and True Senpu says, imagine losing to Cat 80 carry.
I mean, true. That's kind of a true from me, to be honest. But alas, we'll have to see if he gets to play it again or if it is just going to be banned out as the season goes. But that is going to be us.
Their words, not mine.
Yeah, exactly. that is going to be us for this Division 4 cast for Val's League here. It's been, as you so rightly put it, Alex, an absolute roller coaster. I'm glad the season is kicking off in usual fashion, and we will be back on Mondays and Thursdays, continuing as the weeks go on. So please be sure to check back as always. I have been Trajan, joined by Sylv Cast. I hope you had a great Val's League casting debut. It was an exciting one, to be sure. Thank you everyone for watching. We will be back later in the week and going forward. We hope to see you there. Have a good night.
Yeah, I also thank you, Trajan, and I also wish everyone here a good night and a good evening. Yeah, see you all.